Seriously.
Hitting a pigeon.
With a broom?
Even now?
That's what it sounds like. Not that I've heard that before.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to Famicast 127, your Famicast for the early part of June 2018. I'm Danny, and today I'm joined by James Charlton.
Pray to Jay, I did the same old, same old. How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Good.
It's going to be like last time where you start rapping and I just don't know what's going on.
Gross.
Oh, God. Good start.
And Ty Sugarts.
They want to ban us on Capitol Hill because it's die motherfucker, still fool.
Yes. And we
like
have
the police.
I would say we have a special guest. It's been so long, but joining us from the land of potatoes and things.
I believe it's poets and artists.
That's
what we like to say.
That's exactly what I just said. Mr. Cyrus Delaney.
Sashpuri.
What's up, Cyrus? How you doing, man?
Not bad. As some of the video viewers at home might see, I've got an internet connection now, so you can hear me and see me occasionally.
Yeah, really bizarre. I mean, aside from what I saw you in person, I mean, it's just really weird to be able to see you.
No, it's better than that. It's better than when it's only in person.
Actually, you're right. You got a good point.
Yeah, I traveled literally halfway across the entire planet, and my internet connection is now better than when I was in the same country on the podcast.
Oh, man. Cyrus, we couldn't even read your name. It was such bad quality. It's not even a joke.
Well, you can't read my name now, so that hasn't changed.
There you go. We'll get those low turds sorted one day.
One of these days. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and kick up the show per usual with new business. And Cyrus, because it's been so long, would you mind kicking things off for us?
Yeah, so the exciting news that happened since last time I was on the show is Hyrule Warriors is back, baby.
We talked about
2.
it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
We talked about you and it on the show. I think we gave you a message. Because you tweeted a picture and it said, like, you tweeted the Famicast and said, oops, I did it again.
Yep, because if any of you are longtime listeners, you might know I played an absurd amount of Hyrule Warriors, like hundreds of hours of the first one on Wii U. And then I skipped out on the 3DS one, and now I got it again on Switch. And it's good times. It's a good game. I cannot stress how good this game is. I don't know why I like it so much.
I retweeted an old tweet of a conversation between me and you, Cyrus, and I think you did say something like, if it came to Switch, I'd probably buy it again. And you said that literally almost a year before you actually bought it, which is amazing.
Yep.
Kind of spooky.
And I remember that tweet. The one thing I said is, like, if it was on Switch and I could port my save over, it would be like a day one buy.
Well, yeah, I didn't have that.
Yeah, it's just such a shame because, like, it's kind of, that's the one annoying thing, is having to do all the stuff I've done before. But they kind of, because this is the third version of the game, and there was a lot of DLC between the initial version and the second version and what we have now. They've kind of blended all of that into the main experience of the game. So where normally the DLC characters were just stuck on top of the regular game, now they're actually added into quests, and you could unlock stuff with the DLC characters that you couldn't do before. And
was that all
kind
free?
Of rebalanced. So all the DLC is included with this one, but initially it was separate. You had to pay for it.
Oh shit! Really? So yeah, because usually a lot of Nintendo's first-party stuff. Well, I guess this doesn't count as a first-party game, does it?
Yeah, it's Koei Tecmo make this one.
Yeah, but I think maybe it depends on the region. I don't remember who published it. If Nintendo published it, maybe in Japan, and then Koei Tecmo did it in the West. I don't really remember. Might be something weird like that.
But you've got to think, like, who's getting the profits from all that tasty DLC? You know, like charging people whatever $5 a character. But yeah, like, that's a Nintendo character, dude. You know. Yeah.
And some of the characters are really, like, they're cool because they're weird characters, like
Linkle.
Linkle is awesome. She's just like, she's a great funny addition to the cast. Because her whole deal is she's convinced she's the hero of time, and everyone is like, no, that's Link. And she's like, no, I've got a green thing, I've got blonde hair. and and she like her whole shtick is like she sees the world is endangered, so she tries to go to Hyrule Castle and keeps getting lost every time, and ends up in somewhere else that needs help. So Link is doing his own thing, and she's trying to do the same thing.
So she's an idiot then.
She's a complete idiot, and it's good.
So is this like a step forward for women in the Legend of Zelda series, or backwards, or what do you think?
Well, there's 3 original female characters in this game.
Yeah, I remember a few of the boobs, the big boobs that I saw in the
There's at least 2 big original boobs in this game.
Wow. Well, isn't that always the case?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main villain, she fell in love with Link, and she like caused the apocalypse to try and get him to like her. And she walks around with her boobs out the whole time. The other main character, the original character, attacks using like idol, like Japanese idol group dance moves.
Oh yeah.
And then this new character is a ditzy blonde who gets lost all the time.
So. Well, really selling me on the characters there.
So aside, if you've played Legends, the 3DS version of this game, they made a bunch of enhancements to make it easier to play on portable with that. So all that stuff got, forward ported onto this Switch version. But the main thing that's big about this one is that it's like when you dock the Switch, it runs at 60 frames a second. If you undock it, it's 30 frames a second.
Okay.
And it's so weird playing it at 60 frames because I played on the Wii U where you'd be lucky to get 20 frames, and then when a boss came out, it just went to trash.
Oh, and don't even think about playing co-op on the Wii U too. I mean, it
halved it, right?
Yeah, it halved the resolution. It took out half the enemies on maps, and some maps require you to kill like a certain amount of enemies in a certain amount of time. And in co-op, it just couldn't handle that many enemies, so it was almost impossible to finish maps.
Yeah,
and then we have the 3DS version, which is like half of that again.
Yeah, so this playing it at like 60 frames a second, like I think it's 720p, maybe not 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like the game is running in fast forward. It's so strange to play it. And I mostly play it handheld, so anytime I dock it, I'm like blown back hyperdrive in my seat. So
wow. So it's kind of similar to what they did for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where like you bought the game before, so we'll just give you will unlock everything from the start. Is that true? That's what I heard.
No, it's actually because normally, like in previous ones, you would buy the DLC and that would make it unlocked from the start. In this one, you have to unlock the DLC as you go because all the DLC characters have been added onto like these big, they're called adventure maps where you have to play a bunch of missions, and if you play the right missions and read all the objectives, you unlock a new character, which lets you do more missions and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Well, I remember Dan, when we had Dan Koopman, he talked about it a little bit. He said like the first hour or so was very boring because it's like you're not really getting anything new. It's like all stuff you've seen before kind of thing.
That's the one thing, like, unless you're obsessed with the series like I am for some reason, this is the same game. Like, you will have to complete the same story mode. You'll have to complete mostly the same adventure maps with the same mission objectives again and again and again. So if you played a ton of the 3DS one especially, this is not going to be a new game.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been on the fence about this, especially like as soon as they basically said like Dark Souls for the Switch was getting pushed back. I started thinking, I was like, man, that's one game that I'm not buying. Maybe I should pick up Hyrule Warriors. But then again, I mean, it came out here in like March. So I thought about it back then just stopped. And I mean, I think I said this on the show too, but my wife actually liked playing it on Wii U. Like, it's so easy to pick up and play, which is what I like about it. I mean, you could, of course, look at it from like a hardcore Zelda fan perspective of like, I don't want to play Zelda that's not made by Nintendo. I could understand that, but at the same time, like, I think it's kind of a waste to not even give it a shot. I'm not saying like throw down like a bunch of money for it or anything, but if you have a chance, at least try it because it's actually pretty damn fun.
There's only one other company that's made a Zelda game and made it good, and that's Capcom on the Game Boy. Right? Oh no, they made a whole bunch. They made like 2, and then
Oracle is at
least 2.
3, yeah.
3. Minish Cap.
Minish Cap, yeah.
What does sell me on this game, and it was a thing that I always kind of made it hard to play the Wii U a little one, is that, I like to play it. I'll play one mission. It's like 10, 15 minutes. You turn your brain off. You just blow up a bunch of stuff. And with the Wii U, you'd have to turn the whole game on. It takes forever to load because it's terribly optimized. But on the Switch, you just like play a mission, sleep mode, do your thing, go get a bus, turn it back on, play another 10 minutes, sleep mode. It's just like in and out really, really quick to get your 10 minutes of. You don't have to really pay attention to the game. You just put it to sleep, come back to it. It's really easy to get going.
Yeah. That's a very cool thing about the Switch, isn't it? The console's never really off. It's just standby, like a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless you like actively turn it off, then it will be off. But
yeah,
what does seem like a really big hole in this game is the one new feature they added was that there's costumes for Zelda and Link that lets them look like Breath of the Wild, and but there's no other Breath of the Wild content. It seemed like such an obvious thing to give like a new map based on like somewhere in Breath of the Wild, or one DLC character that you play as. And,
well, it's Hyrule, isn't it? It's a bit hard to explain places in the Zelda universe. Well, there's Hyrule. No, not that Hyrule. The other Hyrule from the other game where he's in Hyrule. It's all fucking Hyrule.
Well, this game is like it's like the plot is all about time travel and crossing dimensions, and so that's how you end up like fighting in the Twilight Princess areas and whatever, even though you're in the same place.
That's Hyrule, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'd say there will probably be DLC or a sequel on the horizon just to cash in on Breath of the Wild, because it seems really strange that there's just nothing about Breath of the Wild in this game.
They even did that for that Final Fantasy Cloud game, didn't they? There's a Link in a Zelda costume for that.
What game?
The Final Fantasy Cloud 2 Cloud streaming bullshit thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did the same thing. Similar effort.
Yeah, just throw in a costume. That will keep them quiet.
There you go. Give them a blue t-shirt. They'll be happy.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I've been playing. Haven't really had time to sit down and play proper stuff.
But you're married now.
Warriors. Yeah, I got married. That was the last thing that happened too.
Hey. Beautiful diamond.
Yeah. The other small game I played a little of Pokemon Quest after that was announced on that recent stream, and that's a mobile game. Like, like I was playing it with the Joy-Cons for a while, and I'm like, wait, what the heck am I doing? So I just detached them from the console and play. You can play it fully just using the Switch as a tablet.
Okay.
So like touch controls, like it's like you're holding a phone and you're just playing a phone game.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And it's got like, I don't know how many $30-$40 worth of DLC available in the store you can buy.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay.
Yeah, I played it as well. I mean, this is a Pokemon game where you don't actually control the Pokemon or anything. It's just like, what are you doing?
It's designed for playing on the train with one hand, tapping stuff occasionally.
Right.
I've tried it out. I will uninstall it. I'm done. It's definitely not for me.
I mean, say what you will about Mario Run. I mean, yes, they did this thing where you can do it one-handed, but it was actually like, if you paid the $10, there's actually a decent amount of content that you're actually like in control. I mean, well, it's an auto runner, but you had a hell of a lot more control than what this probably is.
Kind of shot yourself in the foot there, Danny, didn't you?
I you did have a little bit. You have a little bit more control in Mario Run than you do in Pokemon Quest.
Yeah, like there is a lot of customization, like adding attacks to your Pokemon, and the attacks you do have to be like aware of your Pokemon's positioning when you use their attacks and things. But but it's all hidden behind these layers of you have to connect all these types of power cores, and you have to grind these many levels, and you've got this much energy to use on maps, and it's all. There's a game in there, but it's buried underneath all these systems designed to stretch out your playtime.
It's just got an autoplay button, literally. Like you just press it and then it plays itself. Come back 5 minutes later, level done. See you later.
Sounds like fun.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah. And I've played a few mobile games that do that. They autoplay it, and then they've got levels that are challenging, and you have to do that stuff yourself, or the managing your guys. But it's not what I want on the Switch. Like the Switch is, I don't turn on my Switch to have a game play it for itself for me. I turn on my phone when I'm on the train to have a game autoplay itself for me.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. This seems just like a cash grab on the announcement, which we'll get into with the news a little bit later. So I don't think that they went in thinking that this is the most, robust Pokemon type of experience that gamers out there will have. It's just, this seems like it's hey, let's just put this out there on the Switch too, just because we can. Screw it.
Yeah, we are kind of skipping ahead to news here, but it was weird. Like when I downloaded that, I saw it on the new releases part of the eShop, so I thought, fuck it, download it, see what this is all about. And then when I was playing it, like Cyrus said, it really did feel like a phone game or a tablet game. And I honestly didn't know that there was a tablet version announced. It was like, oh yeah, well yeah, there you go. That makes complete sense. / no sense to have it on the Switch. So yeah, I know they're all doing this thing where they want people to play it on the phone and then play similar games on the consoles, right? Like, download Mario Run, then buy Mario something or whatever, Fire Emblem and Pokemon Go and then that kind of stuff, right? But it seems weird, like releasing the mobile game on the Switch first and then later the mobile ones. Like, what's that about?
They did the same thing with Pokemon Shuffle, didn't they? They released the 3DS game and then the phone game.
Yeah, but I think that was before that Nintendo and Pokemon Company were really getting heavily involved with mobile, though.
And they didn't actually announce the phone one there. They just said it was a 3DS game. And I think I remember me, the only person in the whole world who actually worked it out before the official announcement, because remember it didn't have any 3D. And I said, this is going to be a fucking phone game. And mark my words. And then there you go. 6 months later, it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't know about the timing, but yeah, I could have sworn
100% accurate.
Yeah, there it is. There
you go. Confirmed.
Yeah.
But, well, at least with this one, they were just more explicit. Like, yep, it's going to be a phone game in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
So, I guess they make more money off the eShop than they do from the Apple App Store, right? So, might as well get as much money as they can on the Switch.
I don't know. They're
no,
more people. Okay.
They don't have to give 30% to the ghost of Steve Jobs. So
yes, he's hungry. He needs food.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yes. All right. Cyrus, is that gonna about do it for you?
Yeah, I might tag in on Ty's games of this month, but we'll see.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I've done.
All right. Well, Ty, since you've been a little bit quiet, would you mind going next for new business?
Yes.
Okay. I'm moving on to the next person then.
No, I'll go. I've been playing Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, which I believe is a Switch game.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine torturing myself by playing on the Switch controller.
Oh, I've been there. I've single Joy-Con this game.
Holy shit.
Gross.
What's wrong with you?
Well, my thumbs don't work anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, like I now say every episode, what you got to do is craft your own controller out of parts from the internet.
So, Cyrus, you don't have a control stick for your Switch?
Not yet. I've tried. So I'm getting a Brook converter so I can use my arcade stick on my Switch.
Okay.
But I do have the Pro controller that the Famicast kindly gave to me, so I've been using that.
Oh, good.
Eh.
But Brookboard, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the one true controller.
The cardboard. Yeah, get your Amiibo box, cereal box.
Get Labo, get this cereal box, then
you got a badass
make the ultimate arcade stick.
Yeah, man.
Somebody probably did already. Yeah, hey, if you make a controller out of a cereal box, Nintendo cereal box, please send it to us.
That's hardcore.
Right. So, Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. So, wait, Cyrus, you were playing the Switch version?
Yes, I was.
Ooh. What do you think? Have you run into weird bugs?
I haven't really played it enough to hit bugs, unless you count running into Akuma online in Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but
they should not allow that.
If you're not familiar with fighting games, Akuma is famously broken in Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Like, if someone is playing as Akuma and you're not, they will win.
Yep,
and
it's GG.
Wait, Street Fighter 2 Turbo?
Super Street Fighter 2
Super
Turbo.
Oh, okay.
The cool kids call it ST.
Yeah, and obviously he is banned in tournaments, but he is not banned in online play in Anniversary Edition. So
there's no Akuma's Club Edition Switch or something.
Yes.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's also the.
So aside from that, it's been fine though.
The netcode sucks.
Well, aside from that too.
Yep.
Oh wait, so they're not using that thing?
No, they're not
GGPO.
using the thing.
Holy shit!
Why?
Because they went with lowest bidder, I think.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Didn't you say it was already pretty cheap to do the what? Okay, say the name of it again, Ty. I always forget.
GGPO.
GGPO, isn't it?
Good game. Peace out.
Yep.
It's relatively cheap to even do that, though, right?
Yes, it's cheaper than any in-house developed netcode.
Okay.
Is Street Fighter 5 netcode good?
Yeah, it's solid. It's respectable.
Yeah.
So what
It's
happened?
GGPO-ish. It's like the same concept.
So they threw that in the trash and then started again with this one.
Right.
This one it feels like a very budget collection game. It's a well-made budget collection game, but it's definitely a budget collection game.
Yeah, so they got Digital Eclipse to do this, which I guess is the same as Backbone. We talked about this on the fighting game podcast that I'm going to pimp later.
Cool.
But yeah, it very much feels like lowest bidder do this fucking compilation. Okay, so Capcom always used to get Iron Galaxy to do their collections, at least their fighting game ones, and like Iron Galaxy, they're a bunch of fucking fighting game fans, so they do GGPO and they did like extreme levels of polish that were fucking amazing.
Yeah, like the Third Strike Online Edition and Darkstalkers are beautiful ports.
Yes, and what was the Marvel collection called?
Oh yeah, the one that just had Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. whatever.
Marvel Superheroes.
I never actually got that one, yeah.
Oh, it's so good. So yeah, they did those and they were amazing. But I think Iron Galaxy probably got too big and rich, like doing their own games, that they don't do that anymore.
Okay.
So maybe Capcom got kind of screwed there, or no.
So,
I'm not going to give Capcom any credit for anything. Fuck them.
Do you think Capcom are seeing this as more like an offline thing, like more offline focused thing, like just like a historical piece kind of thing?
No, they don't give a shit.
Fair enough.
Well, I think that's how most people are viewing it outside of Capcom at this point anyway, because no one's going to play it online. It's kind of garbage. And even the games they chose to have, because there's 12 games on the compilation, but they didn't give all of them online play, which I think is a good idea, because that would split the player base way too much.
Right.
But
you would never get games.
Yeah, you'd never find games, because everyone's playing different versions of Street Fighter 2. But there's like, in the Street Fighter Alpha series, they've got Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Alpha 3, and people only really like Alpha 2 as a competitive game, but they gave the online component to Alpha 3, so people are just like, eh.
Yeah, they fucked up.
I don't think I've ever played Alpha 1 or 3. I've only ever played Alpha 2.
Oh, consider yourself lucky.
Okay. So Alpha 3, what went wrong from between 2 and 3? What did they fuck up?
They have balance issues. They have some weird, hilarious bugs.
A lot of infinites.
Yeah, and just some general clunkiness going on. Some questionable choices about.
So wait. So now it's an online game with infinites?
Okay, well, even within Alpha 3, there was like a ton of revisions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know which revision it is.
Oh, I heard it was the last revision of everything, like the last arcade edition of each game.
Yeah, and
that's what I heard.
I don't think that's exactly true because, because they had a revision of Alpha 3 that actually ran on Naomi arcade hardware,
Oh, cool.
Cyrus, do you remember this shit?
Not really. Like the version of Alpha 3 I mostly played was the PlayStation 1 version, which was totally different again, and then I played the PSP one, which was totally different again. So
yeah, like in the was
PSP.
Was the PSP one like opera with the CBS2 characters?
It was the one that had Ingrid and Yun and Yang from Street Fighter 3 just stuck into it.
Yeah, it did it have Eagle.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't. I literally have not even played Alpha 3 on the compilation. I played through Street Fighter 1, though. There's a little fun history lesson in torture.
Is that online?
No.
Yeah, and in terms of like historical stuff, like they have this museum mode that has like loads of concept art and production art from all the games, and that's amazing. That like there is some like I look at a lot of Street Fighter art, and there's a bunch in there I've never seen before, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, I've yet to check that out myself.
And it's all like really HD assets, like they're beautiful. They've all been ripped and released onto the internet at this point, and it's just like if that's the only good that came from this game, I'm kind of fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm kind of disappointed because I was kind of mildly interested in picking this up on the Switch, and I wanted to get the Japanese version because as we talk about a lot of times here, most of us now, except for Cyrus, we get paid in yen. Cyrus gets paid in.
He doesn't get paid shit.
I'm still waiting on one of the paychecks from my company. They're holding out on me.
Shit.
From my Japanese company.
Oh boy.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well,
I might still be getting paid in yen one last time.
Well,
you need me to break some legs, so just give me a call.
Yeah, well, I mean, with this Street Fighter collection, it was pushed back for Japan.
Oh really?
For whatever reason, as far as I know, maybe I'm just wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what I read.
Yeah, it's delayed to like later in the year.
Yeah, and it's probably just maybe marketing, and maybe just couldn't find a good place to put it in on the calendar. But it's still kind of annoying because it's freaking done, So
I don't know. You might get some good bug fixes before then.
Good point. Good point.
Oh, bless your soul.
Sure you can.
Yeah, my thought on this game is it's a great just messing around with friends, pick a random version of Street Fighter. For the love of God, get not Joy-Con controllers. But aside from that, it's just this is the best Street Fighter game that's on the system because it's better than Ultra Street Fighter 2 anyway.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not looking to play competitively online. I mean, I'm just going to get housed if I do that.
Yeah, so. This is a great couch Switch game. Play with a bunch of people. Bringing around portable Street Fighter, even with janky, tiny little Joy-Cons, is a novelty in itself. So that's fine.
Yeah. Find your friends that, the kind of guy that says, "Oh, I'm so good at this back in the day," and then you introduce them to Super Turbo's throw loops.
And why don't you just introduce him to Tai?
Yeah. And then he punches a hole in the wall.
Yeah, please don't be my wall.
Cyrus, do you think you'll be able to check out that Switch exclusive mode? The the local tournament mode thing?
Oh yeah, I forgot that was even in there. There's actually I found a weekly gaming meetup thing, and there was a bunch of people with a Switch playing Puyo Puyo Tetris on it last time. So if they have it, we might be able to actually try it out.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
So I had a thought about this game in general. Like since I did the Championship Edition podcast, Champion Edition. So Street Fighter 2 got 6 fucking revisions or whatever. Quote casuals like to raise a lot of haterade about it. Do you know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, I have to buy the game over and over again." Fuck that.
Yeah.
But when you work through the series backwards, you if people play Street Fighter for a while, you play ST, and then I like Vega, so I go back, I play them in Hyper Fighting or Champion Edition, and then I'm playing and he's fucking retarded. Shit is broke.
Broken in a good way?
Broken in you can't win against Vega. He's just real good. He does so much damage. He's impossible to hit.
Oh yeah, well, that's an ST. But with when you go backwards to like
Okay.
Which one? Champion edition. Haha. Like, you know, you just walk up. It's like, oh, there's a Ken. I'm just gonna bully him with my stand medium kick button because it's really good. And Vega doesn't have that. He has like this weird like upper claw move. It doesn't make any sense, and it's also like the same thing on 3 buttons. You're like, whoa! I'm glad they revised this game.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a lot of special moves he gets later. And what I'm trying to say is there's a ton of value in revising a game.
That's right.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like, even like, you know, if they release like another edition of a game like 9 months after it comes out, which has happened multiple times in Capcom fighting game history, you know, it's actually for a good reason. It's not a fucking cash grab. It's actually to make the game better. And,
it's quite rare though to have a game which is like so good, but just some major flaw that needs fixing. You know,
I don't think that's rare at all. I think that happens all the fucking time in a variety of genres.
But like worth doing like a HD remix or a whatever super master version again.
Champion edition.
Yeah. What game needs a champion edition now?
Yeah, I think the difference is
I could go down a huge list, but
outside of fighting.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a relic
sure.
of its time almost. That like back then, a fighting game you had to revise the entire game. You couldn't patch it.
Oh,
like
that's
it made sense. Like it made sense to revise the entire game to fix the game. Whereas like if it's a platformer or the game breaking glitch, it's like whatever. You're playing against yourself. Fucking get a hobby. But if it's a 2-player game that relies on having 2 people putting quarters into the machine against each other, you do need to make the game better for those 2 people.
Yeah,
and
like the second somebody finds an infinite, that's like GG for your quarters.
Yeah, the game is now no longer played by anyone because everyone is just infinites the game. So they have to bring out a new version to fix that if they want to keep making money on it. But no other genre really had that kind of problem except fighting games. So that's just kind of kept forward of them, I guess.
Yep, true enough. I wonder. I wonder what alarm bells went off at Namco back when somebody found an infinite in Soul Calibur 2. I have a feeling they shipped out new hard drives pretty fucking quick.
Whose was it? Which character?
Cassandra, I believe. Like, you know, she has like a shield bash thing. And like, I think they patched it so like if it was a counter hit, it puts them in like the spinny stagger kind of thing. But like she could just like regular do it and just like loop it infinitely.
Yeah, and that would actually be the difference is that like Soul Calibur 2, that got fixed. That they got a new version. The version that hit the Dreamcast was the updated version that didn't have any of those stuff. But then Soul Calibur 3 was the first Soul Calibur that was not. It was the first one not in arcades.
And that game was fucked.
That game was bad. It was super casual friendly. Like, you know, you play it, it's got a bunch of super great modes that I still love to this day. But balance wise, that game was fucked in so many different ways. But they never bothered fixing it, and it was fine. You know, it's
you
never
couldn't fix it. It was a PS2 disc.
Yeah. So
and like apparently the arcade version got good. I don't know. I'd already moved on. All right, so that's what I think about revisions and things. Have I been playing another game? I've been playing Dragon Ball Fighters a little bit. I went to an event on Sunday, and it sounds like this is going to become a Switch game. We'll see if it's announced.
In a few days. Rumors are to be believed.
Yes, right. So I'm going to have to start talking about it more.
Or I'll buy it and then I'll get bad and you can make fun of me.
Will do.
Get bad or die trying.
Yeah.
Danny's motto.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it would probably be a pretty good fit for the Switch, except no fighting game is a good fit for the Switch. that aside, you know, you can play this game pretty easily with a bad controller, I think.
Okay.
Do a certain point. Like you still have to do air dashes with your
I think
D-pad.
there is one fighting stick for the Switch, Hori fighting stick.
There's also the one I fucking built on my kitchen floor. That one works too.
Do you need some kind of a USB adapter or something to make that
No,
kind of thing work?
it works straight up. You like, I can't sing the praises enough. Get yourself a Brook board.
No, I mean like to get that working on the Switch. What would you need to do?
I would plug it into the USB port.
And it would work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Like all the controller decryption codes or whatever are right there, like on the board. It's good, and you know, if a console manufacturer fucks with it, you can update the firmware on it,
and then it will work again with any future games. So it's pretty
which
good.
I have done with PS4. They tried to lock out like unauthorized controllers, and what it does on PS4 is it just drops the controller after 8 minutes. So if I haven't updated my firmware on my Brook board, I can only play for 8 minutes, and then I have to reconnect the controller, or you know, just update it on. I plug into my PC, like hit some buttons, and then I'm golden again. So I don't know if Nintendo cares that much. I don't think so.
They probably don't even know.
Right?
Yeah, there's like also you can pretty much use any USB thing on your Switch now. They don't really care.
Right on.
Yeah, I tried
Keyboard,
plugging my
everything.
arcade stick in directly just to see, and it doesn't work. So I do have to get a converter for my arcade stick, even though it's USB controller.
A USB to USB converter.
Wild. I don't know what to tell you about Dragon Ball Fighters. It's a fighting game. You can play it. DLC characters are coming out. I think they just released their 5th and 6th DLC characters. I'm sure I'll talk about it later when we talk about our E3 speculation, but I'm pretty sure they're just gonna release it on Switch with all the DLC guys like already in it.
Are those DLC? Is that paid? Like you paying for that?
Yeah. You buy them straight up.
How much per character?
Like $5 ish. It might be expensive since it's like Namco Bandai Arc System Works. They've been known to gouge for up to $7.99, I think.
Yikes!
But I think I just bought like the all character pass or whatever right when the game came out. So it's I'm paying like $5 or less.
There's going to be at least 2 fighting games for Switch at E3 with which has all the DLC characters preloaded.
Yeah, makes sense because it's getting them late. All right, so that's what I've been playing. Oh, other than shit tons of that fucking zombie game, State of Decay 2.
Yeah, I saw a lot of your funny videos on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that game is buggy as fuck.
Yeah,
just like the first one.
The cars, just like
the rolling cars is very funny.
Yeah, the cars have some physics issues. There's a lot of other weird bugs in the game that aren't nearly as funny. They just released a 20 gig patch
Jeez, wow.
to correct some things, such as like there were some English lines like hard coded into the game for some reason. So they probably just like updated the entire game's like file structure and fucking like there's a really annoying bug where like open doors would look closed and closed doors would look open, and then you would like run up to them, and then like it would just like you would like just crash into a closed door, like whoa, what the fuck? or you try to open a door and you would end up closing it.
I like the video of the car. You just kind of like very slowly drive up to this gate and you barely touch it, and then just flips over the fence. What's that about?
That was the highlight. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Physics.
So
I still fucking love that game. It's so fun, even though it's buggy. It's charming. It's rough around the edges.
Nice.
Cool.
That'll do it for me.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and go next year. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play stuff, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I am playing something for review. It's on the Switch. It's already out on the Switch right now. It's called Fox and Forests, and this is a game that was kickstarted couple of years back, and it's like the developer's goal was to make something that's like a kind of like a
16-bit platformer.
Yeah, thank you. It's basically yeah. I was trying to think of another word. Something to 16-bit platformers. I'm not on my game today. But yeah, I mean,
Cool Spot or Mr. Nuts.
Yeah, they're basically trying to emulate Cool Spot.
Bubsy the Bobcat.
Bubsy. No, none of those things.
James
but yeah,
Pond.
I mean, I what?
James Pond.
Exactly. But no, I've got to play this game for just a little bit, so I haven't got to dive really deep into a whole lot of like levels and stuff. But at the same time, it doesn't really take a whole bunch of time to actually just kind of soak in the graphics and just like the stuff that they're doing in there. And like I said, it's all like 16-bit, like on purpose. And it really, looking at it, it really does remind you of something that you would have played back in the day. So they can check that one off for, you know, something that they accomplished, because they did. It's fantastic. Yeah, really colorful game too. I mean, a lot of, you know, the game's called Fox and Forest, and especially in the first couple of levels, you're in like, you know, a forest and, you know, kind of running around and stuff like that. So there's a lot of vegetation.
Are you a fox?
Yeah, actually, you're a fox. You're a fox named Rick.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and yeah, basically you have to go out and like get some crap for this old tree that's, you know, basically kind of like the Deku tree, but, you know, whatever. And so yeah, and what's that?
Hell of a story.
Yes, exactly.
Standard video game nonsense story. Just fucking play the game and go.
Yeah.
Get some shit for an old tree. See you later.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Like when I started, I was like, okay, I just want to play this. But I mean, it doesn't take really that long to get in. But yeah, I mean, this is a 2D like side scroller as well, and you have a couple of different weapons at your disposal. So if you stand still, you can fire like this, like a bow and arrow type of thing to shoot at your enemies. If you press like a direction and you do the attack button at the same time, then you'll do some kind of like a melee attack. You can do up to like, you know, a double jump as well to get to, you know, higher places. And they also have this really, really cool mechanic where you can actually change the season like while you're playing.
Oh,
like
shit.
if you hit one of the trigger buttons, then like you just see like this kind of wipe come across the screen. And in the early part, you're going from spring to winter. So, and this is, you know, really helpful whenever you need to get certain places in the stage. Whereas if it's spring and it's something's like this, if it's just like a water, it's basically just like a pit. You can't get through it. If it's too far to jump, you're just going to die. So if you change it to winter, though, then it's ice, and, you know, you can walk over it and get through. And there's a couple other like little interesting kind of fun puzzles like that too that have to do with.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, it's really interesting mechanic.
It reminds me of that level in Banjo-Kazooie. You know the one, if you played that game?
I you know, I have it sitting behind me back there somewhere. But yeah,
you don't play video games.
I don't play. They just said myself.
Fuck. So one of the later levels in Banjo-Kazooie, it's just one big area, but you can like leave and change the season and come back.
Oh, Click Clock Wood.
Yeah, Click Clock Wood. It's got the really catchy music. So yeah, like things change season to season. And
Nabnuts is there, isn't he?
Yeah, Nabnuts. Yeah, and there's I think there's things where you like you go plant a seed in like spring, and then like come back in like summer or fall, and it'll be
it's such a good level.
A big ass flower to climb up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so being able to do that at the press of a button rather than like doing a death march out to the hub, that sounds way better.
Right. I mean, this isn't like you don't have an unlimited use of this though. I mean, you have like a magic meter, so if you're going to be doing something like this, you probably better know what you're going to do. You don't want to just go exploring like this, because then, you know, you'll lose it and it'll just switch back to spring. Actually, I haven't ever had the magic meter run out on me, so I haven't, you know,
has it got a magic stick or something? Like
at the top of the screen, there's like just like a magic meter at the top.
No, but what's the? I need to know what the lore is. You know, what's the reasoning behind this fox being able to change the seasons?
No, I was probably explaining the story that I was skipping through as quickly as possible. It's, if anything, if you play the game, this is kind of talked about in the first like probably 5 minutes that I forgot.
Does a rabbit come up and say, "Rick, you remind me of your father"?
Yes, exactly.
He used to change the seasons in his R-Wing too.
No, you do have like this little bird that kind of helps you out though. With this game too, I mean, you can like upgrade moves and stuff like that for Rick, with money that you pick up throughout the levels. And then there's also like a save system in the game, like kind of checkpoints where you can put down some money to access like these checkpoints. Or you can just be like, you know what, screw it. I can make it through this level without doing that. And, the deeper you get into the level, these checkpoints get more and more expensive. Usually it seems like it's about like 2 times, everything. So you start off with like 10 coins and then 20, 40, it's kind of like that. But
it's like a spin on what Shovel Knight did.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want a real challenge, you just, just skip them. But as far as I can tell and what I've heard, most of these levels, especially, the first couple that I've played, they're pretty long. And they're not easy. They're not, like, impossible. But, it's not bad. But, yeah, it definitely behooves you to throw down a little bit of cash for these checkpoints if you're a guy like me.
Wow.
So... Anyway, yeah, that's about all I played. I probably haven't even played an hour of it yet. But I'm hoping to get a review up for that maybe in the next couple of weeks. We'll see how that goes.
Good luck.
Thanks. All right. Well, James, what have you been doing?
I've been playing quite a lot of things, actually. I had a Resident Evil week the other week because last episode we went live just after the announcement of the Resident Evil 7 Cloud Edition.
Yeah.
And I promised I would check it out. And I tried the demo out, the 15-minute demo out. And it worked perfectly. So I was like, fuck it. Slap down the bones for that. 2,000 yen for Resident Evil 7.
For 180 days?
For 180 days. There you go. It's not going to take me more than 6 months to complete this game.
So you said.
Yeah, never forget Arkham Origins. Or Arkham City, whatever that game was.
Oh yeah, that took me about 6 months, didn't it?
See?
Well, there you go. I'll be just on time. But like, yeah, it is weird because like you know that you're playing a stream of a game, but when you're playing it, you don't. It doesn't feel like it. But like there are times when like the audio will cut out just for half a second, and you're like, okay, that wasn't my headphones crapping out. That was the stream crapping out. But like, that only happened like seriously, it's only happened like a couple of times and that's usually when I'm like in a room far away from the Wi-Fi router or something like that. But like, if I'm in my living room on the TV, right next to excuse me.
Fast enough.
If I'm on the big TV, right next to the Wi-Fi router, and I got like full bars, it's like it plays flawlessly. There's absolutely no flaws with it whatsoever. Like, and it is weird because like the graphics side's pumping out. It's like it's coming out your Switch, but like I don't think the Switch could handle this natively. Maybe it could. I don't know. It's kind of like maybe it could. It would have to probably cut back a little bit more, and I think it is actually cut back because like I actually because I wanted to know the graphics comparison. So I looked at like I searched on YouTube for like PC Max full res 4K version of Resident Evil 7, and I was watching it and I was kind of trying to look at it side by side, and there were some kind of like, I think it's mainly the lighting. Basically, the geometry is 1 for 1. There's absolutely no changes in the textures or the geometry. It's just the lighting. So like quite early on, if no one knows about Resident Evil 7, but you're in a creepy ass house with a creepy ass family, which is straight out of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre basically. And there's this part where you're in this kind of like underground bit, and there's like these bars, like metal bars, and there was a light coming from behind the bars, and the lighting was fine, but like when I looked at the PC version, there were like individual shadows for each bar coming out, and it was kind of like the rendering of the light was very realistic and really nice looking. But in the version that I was playing, it was just kind of like just a basic one light kind of going through, and you couldn't see the individual bar shadows. So there's things like that, you know. But like when you're playing it, you don't realize that it looks fine, it looks great. But when you compare it to like, you know, a whole ultra high spec PC, then you realize that it's obviously not running a PC version. I don't know what version this is. Or maybe it's a PS4 version. Maybe it's like a standard PS4 version. Maybe it's just like a PC version running on medium spec or something.
If it's running off a server farm, it's probably like a specialized PC version.
Right. So it's So they're probably just like medium spec PC, something like that, you know. So which is probably slightly better than the Switch. So you know you are getting graphics better than the Switch can handle.
Are there any English options in it, or is it pure Japanese the whole way through?
So we actually have a 45-minute walkthrough, Cyrus, on the YouTube channel, which I'm sure you've already seen and just temporarily forgot.
Of course, I know about this, but for the viewers at home.
With the viewers at home. So like when you start off, you're greeted with a web page, like on your Switch, basically. You know, you go into the web browser, you got your pointer and stuff like that, and it's all in Japanese, and it's like demo basically, and like you can read the license agreement in Japanese. So yeah, you kind of have to play the demo, I think. Like I couldn't see any way to like not play the demo, but like, or you can play the demo, but then when it runs out, it says like, do you want to buy the, you know, the quote unquote full version? And quick point about that: make sure you play the demo, because you know if you download it from the Japanese eShop, you can actually play it from any account. Like I did that. I downloaded it from the Japanese eShop, but then I played it with my European account, and then it jumps to the European eShop because you're playing on the European account, and it doesn't exist because it's not on the European eShop. So it says, "Do you want to buy the full version?" And you click yes, and then it jumps to the European eShop, and it doesn't exist. So yeah, make sure you're playing in your Japanese profile, link to the Japanese eShop, and you'll be fine.
Gotcha. Okay, that's okay. Okay.
Yeah. So which is fine. There's absolutely no problem with that. So yeah, and then once you buy it, then you know when the web page will pop up again. When you load up the game from your home screen, the same web page will pop up. It'll say play full game, and then then you play the full game, and it basically just connects to the server, and then boom, you're in the game like it's on a PC or something like that. You can start the game, and the thing is, like, the loading and saving is so quick because you know it's just like watching a YouTube video or something like that. It's as quick as like that. So like if you die, like I could imagine, like if you're playing it natively on a PS4. I don't know if anyone here has actually played it. Has anyone actually played Resident Evil 7?
I have not.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'd like to know what the loading times are on like a regular ass console. I guess it's on Xbox as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So like if you're playing it like off a disc on the Xbox, for example, like a first.
The game doesn't. Xbox doesn't run off discs like ever. Mandatory installs.
Oh, mandatory installs, right? Yeah. So it's like once you've installed it and like played off, are there any loading times? Because there are no loading times on this cloud version.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really weird. So like you die and it's like boom, you know. And there's another game I'm playing I'll talk about in a second, which has got way long loading times. Like if you die, you know, you sat through a 30, 40, 50 second loading screen. So it was really nice to like have these just kind of instant loadings. Like I'm back. I'm like, oh shit, you know. And you can have as many save files as you want because it's saved on the cloud. You know, little advanced preview of cloud saves coming to Switch, I guess. Except it's on Capcom servers, and they own all my save files because you know. After 6 months, I will not have access to any of those save files. So you've got as many save files as you want, and it's instantaneous loading. You know, once you sync to the server, and it plays like a medium spec PC version of Resident Evil 7, but you're only playing it on your Switch. I
have many questions.
Yeah, and it is actually completely not localized. What do you call it? Optimized? No, not optimized. It's completely programmed for the Switch. It's got like Switch controller support. So like it's got it shows like the Switch Joy-Cons and stuff on the option screen. It's got like Switch related options. It's not like it's like click the right mouse to do this. It's not like they have disguised it well. You know what I mean?
They put a little bit of effort into it.
And Cyrus, yeah, it's fully in English. Once you get past that Japanese web page, that is always in Japanese. That can never be changed.
Yeah.
But like once you press, game start written in Japanese, you can immediately switch to the English version. It's got Japanese, English, maybe another. I think it's only Japanese and English, to be honest.
I might try this just because I'm curious to see what it'll be like playing it from Ireland, playing on a Japanese streaming service to see what it'd be like.
I haven't finished talking about it.
Oh no!
So yeah, everything I'm telling you is me in Japan on a decent Japanese connection. Now, everyone I've heard, if you go onto YouTube and try and look for I don't know, insert name of Nintendo website here, except the Famicast.com, then it's people like, oh my god, this game is broken, it's garbage, it doesn't work, it's complete nonsense. Like, what's the point of this thing? Like, you can't even get past the initial cutscene. They couldn't even stream the cutscene at the beginning of the game. And all these other Nintendo websites have actually borrowed footage from Japanese YouTube users. So you'll see some Nintendo website and it'll say like footage supplied by Hiroki-chan 665 from Japan. No one can stream this game except people in Japan, which is why the Famicast's YouTube channel is the place to be, because that's where it's at.
Word.
Yeah, we have a question from the chat, and this is
we're on live, aren't we?
Yeah, and this is in regards to the save file. So you said they saved in the cloud, and these cloud saves are mandatory. There's no option for local saves at all.
No, because this game only exists as a 40 megabyte client on your Switch. There's no nothing is locally.
No game to save.
No, there's nothing. It's just like YouTube. It's like having YouTube on your Switch. It's like that. So everything is stored on Capcom servers. So, but yeah, it's a good question though.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend anyone outside of Japan, unless you've got some, I don't know, magical internet connection that, I don't know, 1,000 megabit connection satellite, fucking NASA.
Cyrus is feeling pretty, pretty.
I'm pretty confident that.
Yeah.
I want to test the limits of my new untold power here.
That's what the 15-minute free demo is for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna download that later tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Have you tried running this through some stress tests? Like, have you tried downloading a bunch of torrents and running it? Have you tried running it through a proxy, etc.?
Have you tried just seeing how many save files you can get on before they just cut you off? Just try 1,000 save files in there or something.
I believe my wife was watching Netflix while I was playing, and it didn't affect it at all. It went down from 4 bars to 3 bars, but it didn't.
What was your ping?
I have no idea. It doesn't tell you that.
Of course it doesn't. You got to load your hacker tools with the animated skulls.
But it does feel a little bit hacked together, with the kind of the web page startup splash screen kind of thing. That is a little bit odd.
Yeah.
But once you get past that bit, it's completely smooth sailing. As for the game itself, this is my first time playing Resident Evil 7, and apparently the first person on the Famicast to play Resident Evil 7, which I wasn't aware of till now. And holy fuck, this game is shit your pants scary. Because I'm not a horror guy. I like Resident Evil. It's weird. I like Resident Evil games. I play every single Resident Evil game, all the good ones anyway.
Well, they come on the Nintendo platforms.
Yeah, there you go. All the good ones. Oh, I expected a laughter track then.
I was gonna say even the DS remake of the first one.
Except that one, obviously. All the good ones.
See me in Resident Evil Gaiden on Game Boy Color.
Oh god. So what was I saying? Yeah, so this game, if it was up to me, I wouldn't play this. I would play this in the daytime with the lights on. But as people may know who've listened to the show for regular, the only time I get to play games is between the hours of 10 p.m. and midnight. when my wife and children are asleep, alone in a small room by myself.
Nice. So, I got some games for you.
No, it's not like I have a choice about this. That's the only way I'd play any game. So I'm forced to play Biohazard 7. One of the scariest games. And it's like, fucking hell. And I have to wear my headphones as well, right? Because, I can't wake people up. So I'm like, headphones on, pitch black, middle of the night. Holy shit. Fucking hell, this game.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think the audio design is incredible, like really incredible. Like it's designed to freak the shit out of you, and it really works. Like you're in this creaky old house, and you can hear every creak, and you can hear people because I think it uses the stereo, like 3D audio, like quite well, because like you can hear people like walking behind you, and then you'll turn around and there's no one there, because if you just have this presence of like other people in the house. Because there are other people in the house, but you just don't know where they are, and that feeling is fucking terrifying. So, it's like people who like horror. I can see why they would love this game. I mean, yeah, and in VR it would be another step, right? Like another step beyond that. That would be holy shit. Is the only way to play in VR? Is that only Sony, or is it on PC as well? Or does anyone know that?
I don't know for sure, but I was assuming you could play it on the PC.
Yeah,
I can definitely play the game on the PC. I'm not sure about the VR
the VR thing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a mod or a hack to do that as well. If there isn't.
What's cool about the PS4 version in regards to that is I think you can just jump in and out of VR like anytime you want, which is kind of cool.
So if you soil yourself, you can just take off the headphone for a sec, clean it up, and then get back to gaming.
Absolutely.
Apparently, no, it never came out on PC, the VR one.
Oh, really?
Okay. Oh, maybe Sony got the exclusive for that. So, yeah, and in the same week, I actually played a lot of Resident Evil Revelations 2. And, I played quite a bit of that as well. And Matt Walker, Famicast alumni, tweeted at me, and he reminded me that he worked on that game. He was like, one of the producers, or it was, he had a big part in that game. And I remember it kind of came back to me because I remember him tweeting a lot about him traveling around the world, promoting that game with the Japanese executive producer or whatever. So yeah, I'll be looking out for his name in the credits, when I get there. But it was interesting playing both of those games in the same week because it's like the classic. I mean, Revelations 2 is very much a classic Resident Evil game. Like it's, like Resident Evil 4 or whatever. Behind the back third person kind of shooty game. Biohazard, it made me appreciate Resident Evil 7, like how just completely off track they went with it, like how different it is, yet still feels like a Resident Evil game. So that was really kind of cool, like, comparison, and I could see like the next trilogy. I mean, they were talking about this on 8.4 because Matt Walker was actually on the 8.4 Play podcast, the latest episode, talking about his new podcast, or like Capcom's new podcast, that they're going to do. Capcom, is it Capcom Undercover?
I forgot the name.
The name.
Sure, why not?
Well, the new Capcom podcast, which is probably going live soon. They were talking about how they see it as like almost potentially like three different kind of trilogies in a way. Like Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 is one, and then 4, 5, 6 is like I don't know, the action based trilogy or whatever, and then maybe 7 and onwards is going to be more this kind of psychological horror, like in first person as well. So, and I think it's definitely a good way of doing it, because a lot of Japanese companies get stuck in their ways, and just keep recycling the same shit endlessly, and
good work for Breath of the Wild anyway.
There you go. So fair play to them to trying something new and scaring the shite out of me. I'm determined to complete Resident Evil 7 though, and Revelations 2. I'll see which one gets there first. But for review, I've been the game that I kind of referred to about having massive loading times. It was Pixel Junk Monsters 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I am enjoying this
really?
game. Sorry to start on a negative point. So this is one of our good friends at Q Games were kind enough to give us a review code for this one. And so I don't really hear people talking about the Switch version of this that much, because it is on other consoles, you know. But like it's a beautiful game, and it looks as beautiful on the Switch as it does on the other consoles. And if you haven't seen it, this is basically like a tower defense game, but you control like a little guy and you can walk around the map, like putting in towers and stuff. But it's got this like claymation look to it, and like it's all like kind of shiny, glossy, just like super high res textures, and like super like, well, realistic is not probably the best word, because there's these little cute little ticky guys that you're controlling, but like, you know, the textures are really amazing. And what you can do, you can actually hit one of the trigger buttons and you can actually zoom in and actually go for like a behind the back, like Mario 64 camera angle. So, which is like totally like unique for a tower defense game. You know, I don't know any other ones that do that. Like you can do from the top down view, but then hit the trigger and go in and like walk around like a, you know, Mario 64 style, jumping up and down and jumping on you know, the hills and that surround the stage that you're doing. So basically you're building these towers to, you know, kill enemies that come in, you know, typical tower defense thing, but like it's all like tiki themed, you know, like tiki masks and tiki towers and stuff like that. And it gets hard very quickly. I mean, it's only got about five worlds, and to unlock the new worlds you have to get perfects of stages. So like, you know, normally like with games like tower defense games, you usually have like 300 levels and you just like, you know, going through them at a hefty pace. You know, you beat one level, you go on to the next one. But this one, it's like they're a lot more detailed and a lot bigger stages, but they're also a lot harder, and there's a lot more waves that you have to go through to complete the stage. But also you have to get perfect, so that means like you can't miss one enemy, cannot reach the goal at not even one. So, which is not too bad for the first world, but like anything beyond that, and it's pretty hard. I mean, even in the first world, I got like perfects on the first two stages, but the third one I've had to like redo like 2 or 3 times to get a perfect. And like the second world, I think I've only got 1. So like basically when you complete a stage perfectly, you get a rainbow, and then those rainbows can unlock other worlds, basically like that. But like it is a lot of fun though. Like I do like the towers, and you can actually upgrade the towers by like standing next to it and dancing, and that it speeds up the upgrade kind of wheel kind of thing. Like they upgrade naturally over time, but like if you stand next to them, this little guy, little tiki guy in his mask starts dancing, and then the wheel goes faster. So I thought that's kind of cute. So it's like, it's a lot of stuff you've seen before in like tower defense games, but there's just so many like extra layers to it. Like, you know, the beautiful graphics, got nice sound, and then all these little extra things like, you know, the 3D angle and you know, upgrading towers in that kind of cute way. And you actually have to pick up the money from the floor, which is something you don't usually get in tower defense games. Like, you know, the thing explodes, you get the thing immediately, right? But this one, no, you have to physically go and get the coins from the floor. So yeah, it's definitely a cool spin on it. I like it, and I think it's like maybe like $15, something like that. And the amount of production value that went into it, I would say it's worth a shot. It's pretty good. I don't know how much Dylan Cuthbert was involved in this game. I think he's quoted as like the executive producer.
Oh, okay.
You know, maybe he's kind of like more like you know, like Shigeru Miyamoto's kind of role in some games.
Yamauchi was executive producer on a lot of games back in the day.
I think he probably does more than Yamauchi, because he can actually. I think he can actually A, play games, and B, program games. So Yamauchi could do neither of those things.
Yes.
So yeah, he's probably more like a Miyamoto kind of, you know, creative kind of guide kind of thing. But I believe most of the staff was Japanese people. So SAS Pixel Junk Monsters 2, which is the Pixel Junk series was like a Sony thing for a long time, wasn't it? Like back in the day, it was like a whole series of games on Sony download platform.
I think they were really good to indies back at the start with Sony, so that they got a lot of these exclusive series.
Yeah, because they were being hammered by Xbox with the Xbox help me out, Live Arcade, thank you. And then Nintendo slamming it back with WiiWare. Yo, in your face, bitches. Game over, son.
Yeah.
40 megabytes up in your ass. No, nobody said that. That's why Meat Boy took another, whatever it was, 10 years to get to Nintendo platforms.
Right.
Rip in peace. But yeah, it's nice to have Q Games making Nintendo games again. And B, Dylan Cuthbert making games on Nintendo systems. Yay. Welcome back. Good to have you back. Check the YouTube channel for an interview with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then talking about getting owned online, I'm sure someone said that on this podcast already, whoever it was. I got owned online in Mario Tennis Aces, which had a beta test, if you want to call it a beta test.
Excuse me, James. I think we need to pronounce the name correctly here.
Okay.
The title? Duh. You're saying it wrong.
Aces?
No. Isn't it just
Aces? Right. Get rid of that S. Get rid of that grammar shit.
Yep.
Yeah, Mario Tennis Ace, as it's called in Japan. So like, yeah, they had like 3 versions of this demo, like one for every, region for some reason. Anyway,
I saw the pictures of Don Koopman's
Don
Switch screen
full
of
like 12 Mario Tennis icons. Yeah, like I tried playing the European one with my European account. I couldn't get any connections. Tried the Japanese one. It was like instantaneous. So they obviously want you to stick to your region. But the last Mario Tennis game I played was 64, and I owned that game, and I liked that game. And a lot of the subsequent games have had a lot of extra shit added to it, none of which interested in me.
Yes,
or got me interested. And this is in that vein, but oh man, this game is. I mean, Ty, you might have seen this. Like people were saying, like Mario Tennis Aces for Evo. Because this basically is like a fighting game.
That was the first thing when I saw the first trailer. I'm like, wow, they turned tennis into a fighting game with super meter and life bars and everything.
Yeah, there's so many things to remember and combos and using sticks, your triggers, all the buttons. It's it's a lot that's going on. It's holy shit, so many layers and the psychological element of it. And it's very much like a fighting game. It's too much for me. I'm not that. I mean, I'm not that good enough to play online fighting games because I just don't do it. And this is I wasn't expecting that for this game, and it's holy shit, I'm getting fucking pwned at tennis. You playing as the same character, Mario versus Mario. It's why is he doing things that I can't do? It's no, we have exactly the same move set. We have exactly the same controller, but he is doing things that I cannot do because he's better at the game than me. Which could be a minus for the matchmaking because I got owned maybe the first 7 matches that I played. I just got put with people I think you get about 10 points for every match you win. Something like that, 10 or 20 points. And I was playing against guys with 400 points, and I had 0. I think they give you some pity points even if you lose, 5 pity points or something like that. But holy shit, there's I mean, I got slightly better, and I won my first game after 8 defeats. It's I think my play to win ratio, my win to loss ratio was 10-2 or something like that. So yeah, there wasn't enough time to get good, basically. So it was only over the weekend, but people obviously people that had been playing since minute 1 to the last minute. So, and I was playing near the end of the beta test, so people had obviously played a lot.
Right.
Um,
yeah, James, I kind of booted this up. I think it was on Sunday, but I just played against the computer because I was just like, okay, I just want to get the hang of the controls and
okay.
just to see. Like, I think I mentioned before, it's like I love sports games. I like stuff that's kind of a little bit more simulation based, at least more like in the veins of like maybe Mario Tennis 64, where it's kind of a little bit more grounded in reality. You don't have, I mean, you don't have as many like weird special moves. I just don't like that in my sports games personally.
Yeah, that was probably a good idea. At least you got to win some matches, right?
Yeah.
So I heard there was some issues with the beta. Right?
Some people were getting disconnected, but I think they're all from like third world countries like America.
Okay.
So like so there was no problems for me. The problems I was having were not connectivity issues. they were not good at the game issues.
All right.
So I don't know, but yeah, that's a good point though. I mean, if people in America are playing against other Americans and getting disconnected, yeah, that fucking sucks. But no, I did have someone disconnect because I was talking to you about this before the show. But like, you immediately get a win if somebody disconnects.
Oh, good.
So I don't think it might have been a rage quit. Like I couldn't. It's impossible to tell if it was a rage quit. But like I was winning and then he just got disconnected. So the suspicion is there. But anyway, but then I immediately got 20 points. So fuck you.
That's good. Even some producers of fighting games can't get that right.
I remember you said that. What was it? Was it Pokken or something like that? Pokken got it right, but Street Fighter V didn't, or something like that.
Yeah, Street Fighter V didn't, at least for a long time. Yeah. I even think that. I still don't think they do. I think. They
yeah, you still get a loss when the enemy disconnects.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Street Fighter V sucks.
Because like Pokken and Street Fighter V were like released around about the same time, weren't they?
Yeah.
And it was funny how some cute
Killer Instinct released before that, and Killer Instinct got it right.
There you go. So yeah, you can add Mario Tennis Aces to the list of online games better than Street Fighter V. So yeah, it's. I think people who liked like, oh man, the extra special moves, like they are kind of cool actually. I mean, there are lots of ways to use it, and it's not like you do have to earn it. It's not just like you get, you can just spam like this amazing move. Like you really have to think. It's like well, maybe like the Smash Ball in Smash Brothers or something like that. Like, but
please no.
But no, I guess they respawn a lot, don't they? But like, I don't know. I can't really think of a good, maybe like a super in a fighting game or something like that.
Right, like you raise your meter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you get it.
You earn the meter, and you can actually use increments of the meter. You don't have to use it all.
Oh yeah, fighting game players call those EX moves.
There you go. Yeah. So in Mario Tennis, basically it goes to like a first-person mode, and you can like aim exactly where you want the ball to go, and then fire it really fast in that direction. And you can even counter those if you're good enough. So like, again, very fighting game-esque. Like, they actually do training. It's got a good training mode. Again, another fighting game analogy. But like the training mode actually trains you to hit back against one of those supers. And if you time it exactly, it'll just be like a like a normal hit back. If you fuck it up, your racket might get damaged. So there really is like a risk reward to like doing that. Like someone can use their full super meter against you, but you can actually just like hit it back if you're good enough. If you're good enough with the timing. But if you fuck it up, you can get KO'd, which has never happened. I don't know if this has happened in a Mario Tennis game. If your racket gets destroyed, the game's over. Like the other person wins. So
I thought he would have brought another racket with him or something,
No, that's a Wimbledon rules, baby.
Yeah. yes. I wouldn't know.
I remember it's 2 or 3 hits, like 2 or 3 fuck ups, basically. In
three.
Three is it? Okay.
I think there were some moves that maybe just break it in just one, maybe.
Yeah, I got destroyed by I got a KO against me once, and I think it was like after 1 hit. So
if it's it all kind of depends. I think it has to be like one of the really powerful shots for that to happen. But
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I had fun even though I was being destroyed, but like it didn't really convince me to buy the game.
yeah,
But like, I don't know. It definitely piqued my interest. I mean, if the rest of the game like holds up, you know, like the story mode and all that kind of other stuff, you know, it looks like they're doing it right, you know.
Yeah.
So
would you play something like that with your son? Do you think he'd be into that?
yeah, I could see that. I mean, they even have like a Wii Sports like motion control mode, optional mode.
And I think you could even turn off like special moves and stuff if you really wanted to.
Yeah, they do have like a stand. They actually had that on the beta version, but like it was grayed out or something like that. Like you couldn't play that in that version. But like, yeah, you can just play regular tennis if you want, and you can play motion Wii Sports style tennis as well. So they're definitely thinking of everything. They're trying to apologize for the horrific monstrosity that was the Wii U version, which was like, you know, one of the rare first party Nintendo published titles to get like 4 out of 10s.
Yeah,
like, it was like really, really bad.
Yeah,
like they shipped a 30% finished game and charged $50 for it. It was
they probably sold a couple 100,000 units. I don't think they really. I don't think they care that much.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, that's all I've been playing. That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, that's going to do it for new business. So we're going to go ahead and move on to now playing at the Famicast.com. Now playing at the Famicast.com, per usual, at least recently here, we got a lot of different stuff going on. Definitely, well, not as much as like, you know, Bit Summit time, but you know, there's still quite a bit of stuff going on. Just to kind of kick things off, I'm working on a project that's probably going to end up taking me years, but I got like the first part of it mostly done today, right before the show. I have a couple of tweaks to do, but I think somebody had maybe requested to do some kind of related N64 disk drive related stuff, and you know, I have one, and I have almost all of the games except for the ones that are ridiculously expensive and very rare. So yeah, for the time being, I just went ahead and I kind of put together like a brief history of the 64DD, and you know, used some footage from some of my games and some other stuff, and did a lot of research and all that type of stuff. So by the time you're listening to this as an audio version of the show, it'll be up. If you're listening to us live right now, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you can check that out later this week on YouTube, or if you're a member of our Patreon, you can see that probably in the next day or two. So look forward to that.
Early access.
Yeah.
I watched the preview version that Danny threw together, and it's amazing. Good job. Really enjoyed it. It's like unseen 64 levels of quality. Yeah. So, sorry if that sounded sarcastic. I actually don't know how not to be sarcastic.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
Someone else could say it for me.
As long as you're not telling me good luck, I'm fine.
There you go. Almost said it.
Yeah. So, James, what else do we got going on?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to watch the world's only footage of Resident Evil 7 Cloud Edition streamed on a decent internet connection in Japan, Famicast YouTube channel is where it's at. We've got 45 minutes of it right there, so you can see that I'm not talking at my ass, because you can just go and look for it yourself. I also have some Pixel Jump Monster. I got a Pixel Jump Monster 2 stream up there already, and that'll be joined by a video review once that's done as well. So look forward to that. You can see all those beautiful rendered claymation tickies running around. Good stuff. And then Ty.
Oh yeah, we got Famicast Champion Edition number 4. It's about community building. So if you're the kind of guy that grows up in Far Cry 5, but you want to join a fighting game community, you should listen to this podcast. It's like it's a good how-to of how to walk out your door, fight stick in hand, and find some like-minded people to play fighting games with. So check that out.
And our first podcast of Patreon Season 2 as well.
Oh, wild.
There you go.
Cool. All this
All
and
of
more.
this and more. The baby get dick game. Beat you.
You did. .com.
Yeah, Cam.
All right. Next up, James. It wouldn't be this segment of the show unless you said it.
I actually just came back from Disneyland, and again I went on Big Thunder Mountain when that guy in the that great voice, he said like, "Stay seated until you're asked to sit down," and so it just gets me every single time. It's a great one.
Is this a new segment? I'm not familiar with this part of the show.
It's the Japanese.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. It's time for the news. James you thought James was taking you somewhere else, but nope, we're going right back into the news. Fooled Cyrus, didn't fool me.
This is all Pokemon stuff, so I'll just leave for 10 minutes while Cyrus talks, and then thanks for coming back for this, Cyrus. By the way.
Yeah, this seems just well timed.
Yeah, so Cyrus, would you mind talking about some of the Pokemon related news?
Yeah, so this was all the hype. The new an official Pokemon game coming out on Switch, and this was weird. I don't think anyone was expecting this. That it's like it's not a core Pokemon title. So there's two games, Switch Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and then Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. So you've got your two versions, whatever. They're apparently based on Pokemon Yellow, but they fused the standard Pokemon game with Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So it's like a much more simplified, streamlined version of Pokemon. There's no wild random encounters. You see a Pokemon on the field, it's like in Pokemon Go, you walk up to it, and then you just swing a Joy-Con, and you catch that Pokemon. So, yeah, and then Nintendo very quickly jumped on to say that this is a more casual Pokemon Go focused title, and a real full Pokemon title is coming next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was cool. What did you think of this one?
I haven't played a Pokemon game since Pokemon XY, and even with that, I was like, the reason I got it is because it was quite different than what had been released, leading up to that point. So like, okay, this is something cool and new, and I only played for 10 hours, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of done. It was fine, but I don't know. I like the integration, the idea of the integration with Pokemon Go. I think that's pretty interesting, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it's smart of them to release something on the Switch that's still keeping with the 151 original Pokemon. I think that's a good idea, but I don't know, maybe not for me.
Yeah, I definitely feel this is a game that is not for me. I play all of the core Pokemon games. I play a lot of them, but definitely I think this is a great idea of like, they've got this gigantic Pokemon Go player base that never played a Switch, and now they have this option of playing a really HD with the story mode using their Pokemon they have on their phones. They can transfer them over, and it still has the same controls. It just has some extra stuff. Like, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So
Pokeballs.
Oh yeah, there's the Pokeball attachment.
Yeah. Forgot about that thing.
That is going to be going through so many TVs. Like you're going to see all those famous Wiimote pictures of like Wiimotes sticking out of HD TVs. Now you're just going to have like Pokeball craters in the middle of them.
Gotta smash them all. Pokemon balls through your TV.
That trailer did have cool stuff too, where it was like the two players, where you could have like, co-op, where you're both playing on the same couch, same screen. You both have to like time your Pokeballs at the same time.
Does that mean that you're wasting 2 Pokeballs from your inventory though?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. If each of those people is like, can they both bring their accounts from their Pokemon Go?
I thought I heard that it was that type of stuff was shared with just like the local person that you're playing with.
Okay, so whichever account you're playing on the Switch, that is the person, and it's
Can one person hold 2 balls, or do you need a friend to help you?
Definitely need a
very
friend.
lonely people will probably learn how to do that. I've seen people complete Ikaruga with one controller in each hand. They'll probably figure out how to swing with both their hands down at the same time.
I wonder how heavy they are. These balls.
Yeah, I'll have to go into the nearest big camera and fondle some balls to get a full write up on the subject.
Yes, can't
Are they
wait.
going to be releasing a carry case or a carry sack for these balls, or
Get a bandolier of Pokeballs across your chest. Yeah, so this
or around
game
your waist?
it looks whatever. It's kind of like just make sure it's not hanging. But anyway,
I just imagine this net hanging over the front of someone, you know.
I think we've started taking this a little bit too far, James.
I keep my balls in my fanny pack.
Yes,
there you go.
Keep it going. Just keep it going, people. Keep it going.
And
in all seriousness, though, the balls do look very high quality. I mean, they've got like a stick on them as well.
Do they have an analog stick?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't actually observe the
No,
balls.
seriously. I don't know if it's an analog stick, but it's got a stick on it, definitely. Okay. No, I'm serious. Like the white bit in the middle is a stick.
Okay.
So you can actually replace your Joy-Con with a ball.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Because I
can play Street Fighter with one of those, see what that's like.
There you go. Next Evo Japan. Yeah. Let's see.
But I did hear that apparently these balls, they can only be used with this game. It's not like you can try and play Dark Souls using Pokeballs or whatever. It is sadly limited to this one game only.
I wonder how hot they get if you're playing with them for a long time.
Please stop.
Oh man, I couldn't even get that one out. That's what she said.
So yeah, this game, I foresee this being a great gateway drug for Pokemon Go people, and a holdover until next year when apparently the core Pokemon game comes out. But aside from that, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be used for no other game other than this one. You know it. They'll be in like book offs for the whole through Japan. 500.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. They'll be sold out and they'll be impossible to get. And then fast forward a year and they'll be like bargain bins everywhere.
Yeah, I did actually. Two of my friends came over to my wedding there recently, and they're both big Pokemon Go players. They both had the little Bluetooth receiver things attached to their. So there are some of those things still out in the wild.
Ireland must be a hell of a place to go around catching Pokemon, because it basically is like real life Pokemon anyway, isn't it? Dragons and all that.
Oh yeah, we got all those
Westeros.
All those things. Yeah.
You're basically living in Westeros, so.
We went up after the wedding. We got a bunch of all the wedding guests from America. We went on a Game of Thrones tour up in Northern Ireland to see all the set locations. So
did you have the theme song playing the whole time?
Yeah, it was on loop. It was a 22-hour day. My dad drove us for 22 hours. That was the only song.
Good times.
But yeah, on that Pokemon stuff, the other game that they announced was the one we were talking about earlier, is the Pokemon Quest, which came out of nowhere. No one cared. They moved on with their lives.
Just deleted it.
Yep. Tried it out, went, oh, look, how quaint, a phone game on my Switch, and then deleted it.
There you go. So there were 4 Pokemon games announced in a way, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. They had the Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, and then they had the Quest, and then they confirmed there was one coming next year. It was like late next year, so it sounds like a Christmas 2019 Pokemon game.
Yeah, that's the perfect time to do it. I don't think they'd want to release it any earlier to even eat into the potential sales of, Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu.
And on that, I think it was kind of cute. Like, they're really pushing Eevee as like a rival to Pikachu at this point. Yeah. Even in Pokemon centers, there's a big Eevee placement last time I was over there.
James,
yes.
Actually, everybody that has seen this trailer that is on the Famicast, they probably know what I'm about to say, but I know this particularly, hit James the hardest. But whenever Eevee, like the voice for Eevee actually says Eevee, it is just clearly, a Japanese child or a woman acting like a child saying Eevee. And if you if you're out there and you're not familiar with Japanese, just listen to it again and just think to yourself how kind of odd it sounds.
Ibui.
Yeah, it's
My wife was in the same room while I was watching the trailer, and she could just hear it's like, did that Pokemon just say "Hey boy, hey boy"? So
that's how bad.
So yeah,
Japanese
it sounds
pronunciation.
bad.
Yeah, it's like you can't fault him for it. There's no V in the Japanese language. Well, not like there is in English.
There is, but they just don't use it. Lazy sons of bitches.
Well, it's like an oo with a 10-10.
There you go.
It's still
Basically they pronounce it as vui. Vui.
Yeah.
Japanese, very similar to the Americans. They prefer the easy route when it comes to pronunciation.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
I was expecting more blowback from that one.
No,
Nothing.
So stay tuned till 2099 for the next Pokemon update.
Yes.
2099. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Hell of a wait.
That Pokemon game's never coming out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to go from man at a desk splurting his coffee out to actually finally announcing that they are actually releasing it next year.
It was fun. One of my friends, he saw the trailer and was like, "Oh man, that's like I might actually get a Switch for this to play a brand new mainline Pokemon game when he saw the trailers." And I was like, "They don't interest me. It just looks like Pokemon Go stuck into Pokemon." And he's like, "What? Are these not mainline games?" And I was like, "No, did you watch the fucking trailer?" And he went, "Oh, not interested." And he just logged off the chat. So,
Never saw him again.
yep.
Yeah. No
He might
longer
be back in
friends.
2099.
Yeah. Cool. All right then.
Yeah. Well, continuing on with the news here. So, you guys might remember or recall that Nintendo had this initiative. Actually, Iwata kind of started it up back in, I don't even remember when the heck this was. Maybe 2013, 14, maybe earlier.
Oh, right. You're talking about Wii Relax.
Yeah, basically Nintendo's quality of life initiative. Basically something that they wanted to do. It wasn't necessarily going to be something like wearables. They never really went into specifics. And it's just been kind of just sitting in the background. Nintendo's even made a comment as of like a couple of months ago. They said like, yeah, it's not dead. It's fine. Maybe not even saying it's fine, but just saying it's not
fine.
It's just saying it's not dead.
It's fine drinking coffee in a house full of fire.
Yeah. Well, I guess the guy in the household of the House of Fire just finally realized he needed to get the hell out of there.
Well, there was actually a patent like years ago. Do you remember? Like it was like a bed, and then there was something like on the bed.
Yeah, it was like supposed
like
to be
watching you.
Yeah, some kind of sleep tracking type
Right.
of thing. Maybe helping with sleep apnea or something. I don't remember exactly.
But don't like every smartphone? Well, iPhones definitely do that, right? They do all of that just built in now, don't they?
You can.
I think that might have been a problem, is that general usage phone and tablet technology just kind of overtook Nintendo on this stuff.
Yeah. And Nintendo, I mean, according to this article that I saw, Panasonic was basically teamed up with Nintendo on this initiative. And, I think Panasonic, from what I read, Panasonic backed out of this thing back in March. And, this led to kind of like this other part of news, or at least people are thinking that these things are related. And this is being like, I am not the guy to talk to about this type of stuff, but Nintendo's like investors and stocks and Jesus, hold on, what am I trying to say here?
The stock price went down 4% or something like that, right?
Yeah. And it's probably tied to this.
That's so stupid, though. Like, this thing that we haven't talked about for 4 years, then it's cancelled. Oh shit, it's cancelled! Quick, sell.
It's investors being investors. Who knows?
Right. They're the same wrinkly old guys who ask all those stupid questions during investor meetings. Right.
This thing on.
Right.
Go home.
When's Mario coming to smartphones? It's already on smartphones, you idiot. Didn't sell. Get out of here.
Yes. All right. Well,
that's short news today, Danny, because we've got a special feature coming up.
Yep.
Coming in fast.
Here we go with the special feature. James, why don't you tell us all about
it? It's E3 predictions, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
In it.
It's not really special. I mean, everyone's doing it, but no one's as good as us because no one's as 100% accurate as we are / I am.
Guaranteed.
You're welcome. But yeah, I guess we do know quite a lot, more than we've ever known going into E3, because Nintendo are usually like, super secretive and you don't know anything. But I guess we know quite a lot. I mean, like, for example, Star Fox Grand Prix, name not final. We didn't know about that, but now we do. So that's cool. So I thought we could just like go down the list of stuff we know exists, and then what presence do you think it will have at the show? Like, will it be not there at all? Will it be a trailer? Will it be playable? Or will it be just like, 5-second teaser trailer? What level of, ness will it be there? Okay, there was a sentence somewhere in there. Figure it out for yourself.
There were too many sentences, is the problem.
Smash Brothers. How much of Smash Brothers is going to be there?
They confirmed this is going to be like playable at the booth, wasn't it?
Yep, and you had to get like tickets or something like that to play it. So that's all sold out probably.
Well, I think it's probably like standards like TGS where you get tickets as you enter the venue, and there's like.
Or you mean whenever you go in at like 10 o'clock and the tickets have been sold out for 30 minutes somehow already?
Yep.
Well, Sakurai is tweeting about being excited for the Direct. He's like saying Hisashiburi, that kind of stuff. Been a while since I've been on a Direct. So that's the Direct as in, the E3 Direct. And then we had some rumors from like, maybe it was Emily Rogers saying, aside from the Splatoon characters, there is another bunch of new characters that will surprise you, like in a good way. Like it will be a nice surprise, and people will not be disappointed. And people usually throw her under the bus, but she's the same person who said, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee will be announced at the end of May, and it literally happened at the end of May. So like, she knows her stuff. I really wish people would stop giving her shit when she's like right so much, But I guess we could just throw our 2 pennies in now. Who do we think this character is going to be? Don't say Snake. That's boring.
Who would be would it be a core Nintendo? I mean, an ARMS character.
Hey, there you go. It's more like it.
ARMS.
Hopefully it's Chain Chomp with a tennis racket. Because that would be the greatest. He is still the greatest character in Ace.
Travis Touchdown.
Oh.
Ambassador would love that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe like Far From Out Left Field, one of the Bravely Default characters.
It seems like
or
that's
Octopath.
Yeah. Could see that.
Are they a Nintendo exclusive? I guess they are, aren't they?
Octopath?
Octopath is a Nintendo exclusive, I think.
Bravely,
and all the Bravely games are 3DS only.
I thought some of them branched out on smartphone, but
yeah, there's a smartphone Bravely game.
It's not like main or anything, but
smartphone games aren't real. It's fine.
That's true. Well, we already have Animal Crossing Villager.
Yeah, I would say they'd probably let in some more characters from Xenoblade 2. That seems like a given.
Yeah. I saw some rumors floating around about Minecraft guy.
Oh,
There's always that rumor, isn't there?
And you can use any of the costumes in the store from Minecraft, so you can play as Master Chief.
Did you know if you play on Xbox, they have Killer Instinct skins?
Oh.
All of that stuff is in the Switch version, like the Final Fantasy 15 ones and the Halo ones and stuff. It's so weird.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Play Halo on your Nintendo today. I think ARMS, probably Springman, hopefully Twintel will be in.
Hopefully Master Mummy. Nobody likes him but me.
Yeah, I don't know. What would you think of a second wave of Smash Amiibo?
Oh, it's happening. Like version B of everything, you mean?
Yeah.
They did version
like
B.
Alternate costumes.
Yeah, they did those for the last 3 or 4, didn't they?
Like they had like 2 Bayonetas, 2 Clouds, 2
Yeah, I think they'll do
Whatever.
female/male versions of all the other ones that have, and then
And I mean,
all the
Splatoon
Koopa
did
kids,
like
all the Koopa kids.
that. Like I was waiting for them to do that. I'd probably get a few of those. I'm a big Ludwig fan. And like Splatoon did Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, and Inkling Squid for both games.
Oh, Funky Kong. He's
Oh.
made it.
Oh yeah, now with
Freeze.
Funky
There you
Kong.
go.
That would
There
be
you
a cool little touch.
Yeah,
I
he
could
would fit in.
Yeah, you could see Sakurai doing something like that. Just as
Yeah.
Because we have Diddy and Donkey now, right? So yeah, maybe
And just to use that meme of like now with Funky Kong, it would be like free advertising because everyone would make that joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe Dixie or Funky, something like that. Cranky. Yeah, bring them all back. Well, not back, but put them in Smash. Why the hell not?
Right.
Do you think any other secrets for Smash will be revealed, like extra modes or anything new?
I'd say they're probably wait to do a drip feed of that stuff because that seems like what they like to do, and that's fine. It kind of makes it a little bit more exciting, I guess.
Just focus on the characters and just the core gameplay for now.
That's what I would think.
I would think they'd give us one big thing.
Yeah.
That board game mode from the Smash on Wii U that everyone loves so much is making a comeback, and it's the only mode.
Already forgotten about it.
Honestly, I like that Street Pass mode on the 3DS. I thought that was fantastic.
Street Pass mode is great.
I mean, I'd buy like a couple $1 game that's just that. That would be fine. That'd be fun.
Oh, is that the thing where you flick the counters?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Oh, I think you meant the versus the kind of race platforming game. That was fun.
No, didn't care about that. Nope.
No, I didn't like any of the single player modes in either version of Smash 4. I think they were all kind of bad.
Well, I mean, the Street Pass stuff is, come on. I wouldn't even say that's single. That's just bonus stuff.
Right.
My pet wish would be if they brought back Subspace Emissary, the single player platforming game they had in that one, but it was Mario Maker, and it was just like you make a level, you share it with someone, and it just gets plugged into like a dungeon that you have to walk through all these levels made by people.
I could see the level editor making a comeback.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just some crazy mode like that. I'd be all down for.
Well, we all know Sakurai loves having as many modes and features as humanly possible in the game. Often too many.
Menu.
Yeah, and with broken menus.
One of the games is finding the modes.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't it obvious that the adventure mode is in options in the sound test?
Yeah,
who wouldn't immediately go there?
We have some suggestions from the chat for characters and a couple other things like that. Chris, let's see. One that he throws out there is Bomberman, and Chariot Goblin says Octoling, an Octoling for Smash. That'd be pretty cool. Another one from Chris, a wacky prediction: Guy from Final Fight. Any thoughts on that?
The guy from Final Fight. What's his name?
Guy is in the ninja with the sneakers.
Yeah, he's literally named Guy.
Yeah, it's his. It said it is capital G.
You sure it's not Guy?
It's definitely Guy. Excuse me. No.
Should be Cody to time him with the Street Fighter V release.
Hager and Cody have had their day in the sun. Guy has not. He's been consistently left out of other games.
Because he's super lame.
Fuck.
Bomberman would be good, but Konami no longer makes video games, so maybe not.
I mean,
I actually, just before I came back to Ireland, I bought Bomberman R so I could play it on the airplane, and that game is real good. Or whatever. You
have to say it right now. You're back home.
Yeah, I'm back home. It's Bomberman Or.
Right. Or what?
Yeah.
or you die. That's how Irish people challenge each other.
Yeah,
Bomberman or.
But if that game shocked me how good Bomberman Or was. So if Bomberman showed up, or Bomberman Girl from that weird arcade game.
Oh yeah,
exploding clothes girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. It fits in. I mean, Pac-Man's in it for Christ's sake. So
I think, you know,
Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, well, with Konami, with this isn't them actually putting forth any effort. This is just letting, you know, Sakurai do something with their IP. You know.
Yeah, don't forget, Bomberman was in noted best Smash knockoff DMTV World Fighters.
Yeah, he was. He was.
It's just
along
Sakurai
with Megatron or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and Rika-chan.
and Solid Snake.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I guess it's just Sakurai calling up someone at Konami and say, "Hey, can we use one of your Castlevania characters or Bomberman in our game?" And he goes, "Sure, why not? Just send us a check once you're done." Yeah, I could see one of the Castlevania.
Pyramid Head for Smash Bros.
Yo, signed.
There are no Castlevania characters, right? So why the hell not?
Simon Belmont's in DMTV.
So
Metroid just play that game instead.
Metroid Prime 4. How much of Metroid Prime 4 is going to be there? I mean, they hadn't even started it when they announced it. I mean, that guy photoshopped that logo. Holy shit. How long did he have? 5 minutes?
I'd say we will get the subtitle for the game. So now we'll get a better logo.
I think we'll get an actual logo. I don't think we'll get much gameplay. It'll be like
we'll get a teaser trailer with that reveals absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it'll show like a 3D model of Samus, and
maybe just the inside of her visor or something.
It'll be a slow zoom through space, and then just like a commentator in a world, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think they'll at least have some kind of character model after that, going up to her ship, then be like, "Oh my God, it's Samus!" and everyone's gonna go crazy.
There you go.
Yeah, it'll be some really vague trailer where you don't know what it's about, and then it's suddenly Samus, and then
you can't really fault them for that either. I mean, yeah.
Hopefully we'll find out more about Metroid Prime 4 via interviews and people talking to people on the show floor after the fact. But at the direct, we probably won't learn much.
And Chariot Goblin in the thread in the chat also says that. He or she, sorry, that Metroid Prime 2019. I couldn't agree more. There's no way in hell that's going to come out this year.
Oh yeah, of course not this year. I mean, to go from a Photoshop logo to finalized game in 4 months? Yeah, good luck with that.
Very impressive.
Yep. Or just a very short game.
Yeah.
Bayonetta 3. Friends of the show.
I think
Kamiya.
The same deal as Metroid. We've already got a trailer that showed stuff, but there's not going to be any gameplay, I think.
I think we'll get, a snippet of gameplay. Like mostly like a commentator voice thing, slow zoom through something, and then 5 seconds of footage and then end, that kind of thing.
Then 5 seconds is going to be of cleavage.
Of course.
Or butts, whichever.
Or ass.
Yeah, butts. Yeah, you're right.
That's right.
I do hope Bayonetta comes back to Smash Bros. Though I think she was one of the better guest characters.
Oh yeah, let me tell you about Bayonetta on Scrub Quotes.
I think her Bayonetta 3 costume will make it into Smash as well, probably as DLC later.
She needs another amiibo. I have both those amiibos. Those are the few last amiibos that I got.
I'm assuming probably Cyrus is interested in Sonic Racing.
It's not me.
Say that again. I kind of lost you there.
Cyrus, are you interested in Sonic Racing? I don't think the title has been announced fully, but
I think trailer, they finally did. It was like Sonic Team Racing or something.
Oh, okay. And it's only Sonic characters, none of the Sega historical characters.
Yeah, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed or whatever. I am a huge fan of the Sonic Racing games. They are so good. Like, I know you hate all things Sonic, but even if you hate Sonic, these are good racing games.
They are. They're legit better than Mario Kart. Just saying.
Like that team, Project Sumo, they used to be, a lot of their members are Black Rock Studios, which made that game on Xbox and PlayStation where you like drive around a track and you blow up the track as weapons. You don't fire weapons at each other. I cannot remember the name of that. I played that game for 5 years solid. That's that racing game is so good.
Isn't it published by Disney or something like that?
Yeah, it was. They were a branch of Disney that closed down, and when
I guess
even
Sonic's not on his. He's not actually running in this game, so technically I could,
yeah, he's in the cards.
categorize that as a separate game series.
I'd say this will have full gameplay, full everything reveal at E3. Probably playable on the show floor somewhere too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably playable at TGS.
Yeah, I'm sad that it's not all Sega characters, it's just Sonic characters, but I'm super excited for this game.
Yeah, they almost had me with the Transform series. That was cool, having all the extra characters. But going back to just Sonic and his shitty friends, it's kind of like a ooh.
I'm guessing they're gonna do a Mario Kart thing of have all Mario or all Sonic as base cast, and then DLC will give a few guests.
All right. I think one of the producers was asked, like, why is Sonic in a car when he can run so much faster? Brilliant.
Yeah,
what an in-depth question to ask.
I know. Those questions, everyone always makes that stupid observation, and it's just so stupid. Like, people are stupid.
Yep. So another racing game, which might potentially be there, is Star Fox Grand Prix. Again, name pending. Do you think how much of this is shown? Do you think this will get the Prime 4 treatment, just the logo announcement, not even announced, or will they still try and keep it a secret, even though we all know about it?
I think maybe not because everybody knows about it, they have to do it. I think, I don't know. It just seems to me that maybe it's a hell of a lot further in development than what people thought. So maybe we'll see some kind of a playable version, and maybe we'll be able to see that out at the end of this year.
Well, sometimes, Nintendo have a little bit of a hissy fit, don't they? And they say, well, somebody found out our secret, so we're not going to show it because you looked at our secret.
Yeah,
there's that.
Canceling that game, so there.
Yeah. I'm going to keep my ball. I'm not going to let you play with it. How's that? Could happen. So, yeah, I think at best we'll just get like, a logo announcement. And Star Fox kind of zooming past the camera, 2019, something like that.
I don't know. I think it's going to be this year. I'm just thinking like big titles for like the holiday. Yeah, of course, obviously there's Pokemon, but there's like maybe just one more thing that's missing, and I think this is going to be it.
So Pokemon's next year. I almost said F-Zero.
Yeah, my heart's skipping me like F-Zero. Where?
Yeah, it basically is F-Zero, isn't it?
I'm guessing this game will be F-Zero in all but name and characters.
Yeah, except it's gonna suck.
That too, because it's got Star Fox in the title. Man, I love Star Fox, but they just can't make Star Fox games now. What's wrong with them?
Oh man, Ty, what was that game that was like on the Virtual Boy? We talked about it on ACDC.
Was
it called
it
like F? It was Zero. No, something. It was like it was almost like between a Star Fox and an F-Zero game, and it was going to be on the Virtual Boy. So Nintendo are not one for throwing out all their ideas.
Right.
And it was. I think that game itself was canned. So
yeah,
weirder things have happened or not happened. So yeah. Next up, Cyrus. Good to have a Splatoon guy back on the show. Octo expansion. Do you think we're gonna get the release date? Will they do like and it's available now kind of thing?
Do they not already have like a July 31st release date for this?
I thought it was still summer.
Oh, I don't know then. I guess, hopefully.
Yeah, dude, if they don't, that's just stupid. It's summertime. I mean, people are like, okay, when the hell is this coming? You can buy the damn download card here in Japan.
Right.
I think, it said on the eShop that it says July 31st, but that could just be a placeholder date.
Okay. Well, wow, that's quite far away then.
Yeah, I'd say they will probably do like a segment talking about the more details, because they just showed off the new Octoling haircuts you can have too. So there's not just the two base, there's like at least two other hairstyles you can use for the Octolings.
It does looks really cool. I mean, they're showing off little clips of the stages here and there on the official Twitter account. And the one that they showed today was like the whole stage kind of turning, like shooting something in the middle and then the whole stage turning. And you have to like find these things to shoot in this huge giant cube and stuff like that. I mean, that's never been in any part of Splatoon ever. So they're doing things that have never been done before. And I like how they're using the specials and stuff, but they're using them as, you know, ways of moving around the stage, you know, giving you infinite ink. Oh, and there was that some data miners had found a fifth
ranked
mode, the rocket mode, which looks really interesting. So they might announce that at E3. You never know.
Yeah, they have plenty of stuff to choose from to announce for Octo expansion, because they've shown a lot, but clearly there is a lot they can show about that stuff.
Yeah. Maybe the rocket thing will come a bit later though, because you know they've got Octo expansion to last them for a while. So
I also think Octoling Amiibo will be announced.
There you go. That's why we have Cyrus back.
Yep, that's the stick on at the end of any prediction. Also Amiibo.
Yeah, it's like, you know, even though I have like, if you look up behind me, I kind of have all my Amiibos shoved up there on a shelf, but I always kind of forget about them.
Never use them.
And I close my windows every day in here or whatever, the shutters, and I see them like, oh yeah, I have some Amiibo, and then I just forget about them for like, you know, the entirety of the day until the evening.
Hyrule Warriors gives you bonuses for scanning 5 Amiibo every day, so I just like, that's my routine when I'm in bed. It's like, time to scan the Amiibo.
Yeah, my Amiibo are too far away to even bother with. I
have a stack of Animal Crossing cards to help me out with this.
Nice.
Next. So there were 2 games leaked via Korean ratings boards. I think that's how it went down. So Fortnite and Dragon Ball FighterZ Z, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Fortnite. I mean, that's a free to play game, right? I'd play that.
Yeah, Fortnite is that mode at least is free to play. I think you can buy the full game, but the Battle Royale mode that everyone plays is free.
Yeah, it's like the main game, single player / co-op, I guess, it's still like a beta or whatever. That's
but this joke mode they stuck on to try and gain some popularity that took off and became
it turns out it's the most popular game in the entire world right now.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And that's why they're trying to be sued by PUBG people and failing.
Yep.
Good luck to them. But yeah, this will make a hell of an E3 announcement. It'll make a lot of people happy at the event, and then something you can play immediately after the event at home, probably.
And Fortnite, like, it's not even a very technically demanding game from what I've seen. Like, you could reduce that game down very easily to fit on the Switch.
Yeah, there's a mobile version, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, like it runs on phones. So this is they could hit a button and it's on the Switch tomorrow if they want.
According to junior high school students, girls are ruining it.
How so?
All they're doing is building little houses and having tea parties in the corners.
Yeah, what Cyrus said. So yeah, it strikes me as a game that's hugely popular.
Yeah, it's going to do gangbusters.
Yeah, I see kids like of all ages, just talking about this game constantly over here. Now that I can listen into people's conversations really easily, that they're all talking about Fortnite.
Well, if it's Japan, it's the Knives Out. This stupid game. What's that about?
I've noticed that game, James, just on like YouTube commercials and stuff like that.
YouTube and Twitter are constantly trying to make me install Knives Out.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Really? For me, it's been World of Warships.
Oh, there's that too.
There you go. That's the other one.
Fucking hell. Let me tell you about Japanese YouTube ads.
Yeah.
World of Warships all day, every day.
Is it 2 Japanese YouTubers / comedians talking to each other while they play the game and doing hilarious things?
No, it's a pretty straightforward ad, actually.
I just described most of commercials on YouTube and Twitter.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, Fortnite, free to play. I mean, it's perfect fit for Switch. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I'd probably, if it's free to download, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, and that just sounds like something that they just stuff into the
the direct.
Stuff into the direct, and then boom, people know it's there, and
that'll get a release date, and it'll be like sooner than you think.
Yeah, or it could just be like, it's available right after this, like that type of
Fortnite guy for Smash.
Dragon Ball Z might be a bigger thing, right? That'll probably take center stage, and that'll be a big part of the direct, probably.
Could be big. I'm pretty sure that game runs under Unreal Engine. Don't quote me on that, but I'm like 99% sure. You can quote me on that.
Yeah, that runs natively on the Switch as well. So no problem.
Strikes me as an easy port.
There you go. Next, Yoshi. Now this is I think it's only called Yoshi, name pending.
Yeah.
Like the old puzzle game?
No, not that.
Yes, exactly.
The Match 3 puzzle drop game.
It's basically Yoshi's Woolly World, but except now it's, I don't know, crafts or...
Yeah, it looks like cardboard pop-out made of cereal boxes levels.
It looked really dull in its initial release trailer, which was quite disappointing because Woolly World is so vibrant and just like melts your eyes with cuteness and just like amazing textures. And then this was just kind of like, I don't know, Unreal Engine shadows and cardboard. It's like,
like I like the idea of this game. Like it's a clever art style, but it just doesn't look very good.
Right. I mean, you can obviously say it was
unless it's like some elaborate. It's like some elaborate like labo or crossover.
There you go. Maybe. But I could see an updated trailer for this, just to prove that it doesn't look as garbage as it looked in its initial trailer. And, it's actually coming along. But then again, if you look at the history of the Yoshi game, do you remember, Danny, like the initial Woolly World trailer was like 3 years before the game came out?
Yeah, it did take quite a long time, didn't it?
So hopefully that doesn't happen with this one.
Yeah. Well, one thing that Nintendo could do, they could just be like, look at all the success we're having with re-releasing all these Wii U games. Let's just
do it again.
Woolly World again. the third release of it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Woolly World the third. There you go.
Can't
now
wait.
with Funky Kong and Poochie.
Yeah.
Poochie Kong. So that may or may not make a brief trailer appearance. Coming 2019 or whatever, that kind of thing. They'll probably do what they usually do is they break it down into what's coming right really soon and then what's far off in the future, right? So Yoshi is probably going to be in the far off part of it. The world ends with you. That's probably going to be
remix, whatever.
That's probably going to get a release date, and it's going to be quite soon, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Mainline Pokemon. Do you think we're going to see anything from that in the direct, or is that kind of
absolutely nothing?
Yeah, no way. I mean, they just had all this information come out just here recently. I don't think that just kind of just shows that they're not, the Pokemon company does not want to use E3 as a platform to talk about anything new about Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. But Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is going to be at the show.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, anything new. You know what I mean?
Right.
People to be able to try out everything that they've talked about.
Right. People to be able to get their hands on those balls.
Exactly.
See how they feel.
There it is.
Try the sticks. Next, Animal Crossing, mainline Animal Crossing. This has been long rumored.
Is anybody actually excited about this if it does happen?
Because Pocket Camp has kind of come and gone. It's like people are already done with it, aren't they? The iOS one. That was
it took out everything that made Animal Crossing fun.
Brilliant.
Like, it's not like the Fire Emblem Heroes or whatever it is that distilled down the Fire Emblem stuff to like really simple. And Mario Run, it took the really platforming stuff, made it simple, but it was still there. Animal Crossing just like took out all of the town building and just turned it into a collectathon.
Yep, it sucks. So, but do you think that they'll actually announce or something with a mainline Animal Crossing? I mean, people are gagging for it, especially in Japan.
I would not be shocked if they at least mentioned it, but I don't think we're going to see anything.
Actually, this reminded me of something. Like, TGS and E3 are kind of like equivalent. So, you know, the Western version, the Japanese version, right? So like what happens during TGS? Like TGS has 480 games on display. 3 of them get get any interest back in the West, right? You know, it's usually like a Metal Gear or a Street Fighter. Those kind of level of games get covered in the Western media, right? But the other 478 games, no one even talks about them. No one gives a fucking flying shit about them, right? All those anime shitty games, right?
Yeah.
And then the exact same thing happens with E3 in Japan. Like E3 has hundreds of games, and the coverage that it gets in Japan, it'll get like a 2-page spread in Famitsu. They do this every single time, literally 2 pages, and it have screenshots of, you know, foreigners playing video games, and they're like, hey, look at these foreigners, look at these funny foreigners playing funny foreign games. And they'll highlight like 2 games that's like that Japanese people might be interested in.
I mean, Nintendo, when the 3DS was kind of big, I mean, they'd even have things, I mean, not from like Western developed stuff, obviously, because nobody gives a shit. But if it's like Nintendo stuff, they'd have some kind of just like information about that. You know, man, like when Federation Force, before that came out, I mean, they had information about that up on Nintendo's website. They had videos that you can get on your 3DS. I mean, people in Japan probably didn't care. People in the West didn't even care, for crying out loud. But I see what you're saying, but I think there's a little bit more interest in that, just a little bit more hardcore.
So what I was getting is that, you know, more people in Japan are interested in Animal Crossing, right? So like it's more likely to be like a Japan focused thing. Probably, actually, it's probably more likely to be an Animal Crossing Direct.
Yeah,
like literally just about Animal Crossing.
That's what I would think too.
I doubt they would bury it in, you know, whatever 20 games that they've got for E3. Right?
Get another board game. Like an HD remix of that Wii U game.
Yeah, just the re-release. Screw it.
Re-release all the amiibos again.
Yeah,
slightly different paint jobs.
Yes.
And by re-release, you mean just, you know, continue trying to sell the stock that they never got rid of.
Cyrus, except now he's yellow. There you go. You'd buy him again, wouldn't you, Cyrus?
I'm already advertising that exact model right now.
Yeah, and you got the white bandana on today too. So I mean, it's just totally different than what we're used to seeing. Too.
When have you ever seen this combination before?
Yeah, I've never seen it. I have never seen it. This is pretty incredible.
It's the Animal Crossing theme song.
I thought that was the Splatoon one.
I was testing Danny. So yeah, no Animal Crossing. Sorry. Beyond Good and Evil 2, does that exist anymore? Yes or no?
I think it's still coming. I didn't know anything about Switch though.
Yeah, I just have a lot of question marks for you.
That's your answer. Question marks. Yeah. It probably exists, but if they'll show it or not is a question, and if there is a Switch version, it's another big question mark.
Always bet on Duke.
So yeah, those are the stuff that we kind of know about. Is there anything that we didn't mention? Like, I want to mention like the possibility of Mario Odyssey DLC. Like, I think it might be too early for that, but like, I do think that some Mario Odyssey DLC is being planned. I do think like they're going to add like some major content, like an extra world or something like that. Because it can't just be more costumes from now on out.
Yeah, they do
sold
have,
so many.
Like, data mining has showed they have a lot of costumes coming.
Right.
Like, they have a pattern, so they're not going to let people forget about the game for a long time.
Right, because it's similar to like Splatoon,
sure.
right? Like
I can't see Nintendo, who are they're still a little DLC shy. They try and do it right when they do.
Right.
That if they're already waiting for their big Octo expansion DLC to drop, I can't see them advertising another big DLC.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't think this is going to be an E3 thing, but I think it's in the works. So if people are looking forward to Mario Odyssey DLC being announced at E3, I'd say probably not. Same for Mario Maker. I mean, as much as I want Mario Maker to be a big part of this next E3, I think they've just got, like, the fact that Smash is there just kind of negates everything. Like, nothing can exist at the same time as Smash. But with the online service coming later this year, September, right? Like, yeah. I kind of feel like Smash alone, to launch with that is not enough. I think they need like a really online heavy game to kind of get people like interested in it. And I think, Mario Maker could be one of those.
Yeah.
So again, this is one of those things like, yeah, probably not Mario Maker E3, but like sometime after that.
Well, even if they did do a Mario Maker, it could just be kind of like a side note and be like, oh, and by the way, Mario Maker's coming to Switch. It's kind of like an off the cuff type of thing. Nothing like, not trying to bring like a bunch of focus on it, but then maybe talk about it in like a separate direct later along the lines or something. Yeah.
And I never actually got the Mario Maker stage for a Smash Wii U. So it'd be nice to have that in the Switch version from the get-go.
I don't know if I played Smash for Wii U after I played Mario Maker. So
yeah, they added a whole bunch of cool new stages. Mm-hmm. The Mario Maker one looked really cool, but I just couldn't. It's just like, whatever it was, $3-4 for like a stage. It was like, not quite enough for me. And what about Pikmin 4? I mean, the game that has been finished for like, what, 3 years now?
Yeah.
I think that game's gone.
Do you think they've just given up? Like, did Pikmin 3 just not do good enough to... I mean, they released that shitty 3DS game.
That's what Pikmin 4 became. It's over. The dream's dead.
God, I even forgot about that shitty 3DS game. God, what a disappointment.
I honestly thought about picking that up last summer.
What?
I'm really glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe I need it in my life. I don't know.
No one needs that shit. So, yeah, Pikmin 4, who knows? Could be one of those surprise announcements. You never know. Cyrus, what you got?
My prediction, hanging on to that thread of hope, Hyrule Warriors DLC or some sort of expansion, because I just feel it's just so strange that game just dropped without any Breath of the Wild stuff except for a couple of costumes. It just seemed
not enough
really
DLC.
Bizarre to me.
That game literally has the most DLC of any Nintendo published title on Earth, I think. Ever.
I don't know. Pokemon Quest is pretty big already.
Oh my god! I downloaded another free-to-play game. Barely worth mentioning, but like I don't know if this is on all the eShops, but it was on the European one, and it was a game made by PETA, like the animal rights group in America.
That game's awful.
It's Deja Vu? I could have swore we were talking about this before.
The Battle Kittens or Kittens Adventure or whatever.
Something like that. It's like it's free to play, but you can pay like whatever $3 to buy the costume pack. Kitten Squad.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, Kitten Squad.
That is a nefarious, sneaky game.
That's a weird game. I mean, it's like basically an advertisement for PETA, and then let's play a shitty kind of flash game we ported from the smartphone onto your Switch. Weird. So, Ty, do you have any Xbone or other kind of predictions? Will Xbox have any games or?
No, they're done with games. No, Xbox will have games. But let me talk about Nintendo for a second.
Oh,
okay, so
how unusual.
Yeah. So we already talked about Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's pretty much confirmed, right?
Yeah, I think thanks to Korea.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna ship a version that has all the DLC characters. They're gonna ship it after all the DLC characters come out on the real consoles. One thing I think we might see at E3, I think Nintendo might take a renewed stab at esports. Since that's the thing that's getting bigger and bigger. And they're gonna, they might show Smash 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it, Switch.
Right.
And they might make it an esports related announcement about like a new championship tour or something like that. So I think they're gonna take another good look at that, see if they can do like another TV project maybe. Since that's also been a thing lately, and you might remember Smash at Eva was on the Disney Channel, right? That was real life. That wasn't a fever dream. Bayonetta is now a Disney princess.
Confirmed.
So, I would put money down on that, sure.
Yeah, I'd say because they did that whole ARMS tournament circuit, and that worked really well for ARMS. I think that made people aware that was a serious game.
Yeah, so. Hell, they might do a fucking Fortnite Switch Edition championship. That would be wild.
On the same topic, and also mentioning ARMS. So, Nintendo basically said last year that they're going to be supporting ARMS for up to a year with like new content and this maybe just stuff. Kind of like what they did with Splatoon initially, but longer than a year. So I'm wondering if does that mean that they're going to start working on a sequel to ARMS? So this is kind of just like a test type of a thing, or do you think they'll just turn kind of like around on what they said and just be all right, we're going to release more stuff for ARMS, or do you think that they're just going to just I don't know. I kind of lean towards that maybe they'll just make some kind of like blanket type of totally no content type of announcement like ARMS 2 is coming. But
no, they are still patching ARMS, but they're just not releasing any new characters.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like just to get people maybe more excited for the series, maybe have a better full-fledged one-player mode, fix some stuff with the ranked mode, stuff like that in a new version. I don't know.
Yeah, I could say. I mean, like if you buy the cartridge version of ARMS now, that doesn't have any of the extra characters, right? So I could see them re-releasing the main game itself with all the extra DLC characters.
Oh, okay. Like a what the heck do you call it? Game of the Year edition or something.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. Like the new versions of ARMS that are getting sold now, that are being created now, are they like still version 1 or are they version 5?
I'm not going to buy one to find out.
yeah. Danny, go out and buy a game card version.
I'll buy it
right now.
Like, erase everything on my Switch too. And
Okay. Yes, please do that. All right.
Yep.
Cool.
I also kind of maybe like HD things of like Skyward Sword or some of those other Wii U Zelda things, Mario Sunshine, any of those? Any HD re-releases you're expecting?
I just not something I'm expecting. I'd like to hear more about classic games that are not NES games. Coming to Switch. It'd be great to hear more about stuff for Super Nintendo, 64, GameCube, stuff like that. I just don't think that they're going to bother. I think they have a lot more, or what they deem important things to talk about at the show.
Oh, there is one. Wonderful 101, as we discovered in our Hideki Kamiya interview.
Confirmed.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to be announced at E3, but it's probably happening sometime.
Yeah, it's something.
It's one of the last Wii U games that hasn't been ported, right?
Right.
Because we got Toad Treasure Tracker, we got, we've got a brand new Mario Tennis. I guess a Paper Mario hasn't been announced for Switch yet. That's about it, really. I can't really think of any other. Oh, Mario Maker, of course, but
right.
Yeah. So there's only a couple of more Wii U exclusive games left that they could actually port.
Yeah, exactly.
Not much left. That's for damn sure.
Disney Infinity 4.
It's coming back, baby. Yeah. Amiibo support this time, too. Support from Nintendo as well.
But anytime you put a Mario down, it's actually just a Mickey Mouse character.
There it is. Cool. Can't wait.
Okay. I think we're done. Yes. We're not gonna have to wait long to find out if we're wrong about any of these things.
Right.
So. It's not long to wait at all. Cheesemeister always has a great. He always makes a cool schedule to find out the times of all the what do you call them? The directs or the presentations, press conferences, all those.
You Nintendo fanboy, God.
What I don't know, whatever Microsoft calls their direct.
They all call them all sorts of different names to differentiate from being a press conference. It's what it really is. Media event, media something, something, something event. Yeah.
So for Japan, when it's Nintendo's one is at 1 a.m. on Wednesday the 13th. 1 a.m. in the morning. So I'll probably just wait till the next morning. Whatever, 6, 7 o'clock the next day.
Mm-hmm.
On Thursday.
I'm flying out to Spain for my honeymoon on June 12th. So that's the Europe time for the press comp for the E3. The Nintendo E3 stuff is like 6 p.m. on June 12th. So the only press conference I'll miss is Nintendo's.
There are actually some I could watch live, like at normal times. Some of like the EA, maybe Bethesda, something like that. I forgot.
Let's see what we got. 5 a.m. is Microsoft is at 5 a.m. Ty on Monday.
5 a.m. What, Japan time?
Yeah, these are all Japan times because we live in Japan on a Monday.
There's some on the Sunday, James.
Oh yeah. I'll get there. Hold on. What else have we got? Bethesda is at 10:30 a.m. on a Monday. That's quite reasonable.
If you don't work.
Yeah. Good point. Oh, watch it at work. Devolver Digital is at midday. Square Enix is at 2 a.m. on Tuesday. Fuck that. Limited Run is 4 a.m. on Tuesday. Nope.
Oh yeah, Limited Run have a conference this year. That's kind of cool.
Ubisoft is at 5 a.m. on the Tuesday. PC Gaming Show is at 7 a.m. That's reasonable on Tuesday. And then Sony is at 10 a.m. on the Tuesday, the 12th. So that's also kind of reasonable. Yeah, so Sony and Microsoft, ironically, are the best best ones to watch in Japan. So I don't know why Nintendo, the Japanese company, doesn't schedule theirs better for people in Japan, but there you go.
No, it's focused on the American market.
There you go.
Because they're there in America. Doesn't mean that they don't care about Japanese gamers.
They don't.
Yes. But it's NCL that's I mean, I don't think it's Nintendo of America that says we need this content. Make it in Japan. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. Reggie doesn't have any power whatsoever.
Nintendo Japan answers, who are you again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
New phone, who dis?
Exactly.
Well, Kimishima can't even say that. Oh, no, it's not Kimishima anymore, is it?
Well, later this month it won't be.
That's right. Kimishima will just go, if Reggie tries to call. Good luck to him.
Well, I think that wraps up E3 talk.
That's right. Let's move on to a teeny weeny bit of feedback.
Okay. All right. If you want to have your question, comment, whatever, read out on the air, you can email us at thefamicast@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter at thefamicast. We're up and live down Twitter now. Had a bit of a snafu.
Man.
We're on Twitter. That's all you need to know.
Let's just leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that.
You can find us on Facebook, Famicast, everywhere. I mean, right here on YouTube as well. Boom.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, do people get notified if we go live? If you subscribe?
If you're subscribed and you have the notification thing set to on.
Oh, yeah. The little bell thing, right?
Be joining us like we have, several people coming in and out throughout the episode here. Thank you very much for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
I think you get sent an email or something as well, don't you? Some shit like that.
If you set it up like that, I wouldn't do that.
YouTube notification pop up.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hideki Kamiya, we mentioned him a few times. Friend of the show now, officially. We tweeted out the interview we did with him and asked him, please don't block us. We just want to share the interview. And he said, not blocked. So thank you for not blocking us, Kamiya. Appreciate it. Even though we mentioned him, which is a very, very risky thing to do.
Yeah. He's actually coming over to my house next weekend for a barbecue. So.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah. He's not.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Russ Greeno is about to grab his Hetty the vacuum and listen to the Famicast. It's a very British reference. Probably even Cyrus doesn't get that one.
No idea what you're talking about.
There you go. Next up. Move on to some Patreon comments. I mean, YouTube comments are just all people complaining about how shit I am at the Castlevania game. It's not Castlevania. more on that later. Russ says about Mario Tennis Aces, yeah, because they, in case you forgot, I think Danny mentioned it earlier in the show. If you just like tier 1, just $1 a month, you get like early access to all our videos as soon as they go up. So Russ has already seen our Mario Aces stream, for example, but for those watching live, you won't have seen that yet, and that'll go out on Famicast Friday. Anyway, Russ said, looks okay, not filled to the brim with special moves. It looks a bit silly if you can fire off mega shots every few seconds. So yeah, like I said, yeah, you have to earn those mega shots.
Yeah,
fighting game style-y. So yeah, we're going to be streaming some Splatoon 2 on the request of Chris Blackstone. Is Chris still watching?
He was. He might be.
He was. He's gone. He's gone now. Anyway, Chris, if you're watching, so this is for like $10 or more patrons. They can actually request a game that they want to play with us, and then we'll play together and stream it. And then after the fact, that video will become a Patreon exclusive video. So if you just want to see that video, $3. If you want to be on the video, $10. That's what Chris did. So yeah, Chris, looking forward to playing some Splatoon with you. What else have we got here? Nick Lone says he's really interested in Pocket Rumble. He says, been looking out for this one since the original Nindies Direct last year. Then it sort of disappeared. Looking good. So yeah. Cyrus, you're interested in Pocket Rumble, right?
I kind of was, but I've kind of lost interest over time. Like, I think I actually have it on Steam and never really played
what?
it.
For real?
Yeah. Because it's been out forever on other stuff, I think. It's just the Switch port is taking forever.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Forever.
I mean, the system's only been out for a little over a year.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's a cool idea going to like Neo Geo Pocket type games, but it doesn't really appeal to me too much enough to buy.
Okay.
It comes up on the Championship Edition of podcast we do sometimes as being a good jumping in point for beginners.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So yeah, I would recommend hopping in on that if you want to try baby's first fight game. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Not in a bad way. It's genuinely that's a good way of describing it.
It's a good game.
There you go. All right then. So that's all the comments I'm going to read out now. After the show, I am going to, inspired by Jimmy Fallon and his little segment he has called like Celebrities Read Mean Tweets. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those videos.
Oh yeah.
Where they have to read out, horrible stuff people have said about them. I'm going to do that, except it's not that. It's going to be James reads mean YouTube comments. And I'm going to read all the only the bad ones. I'm not going to read any of the positive ones about my terrible gameplay video of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
Oh, I better get mine in right now.
Which is our most viewed video ever.
Yes.
And our most commented video ever.
Yes.
Most
thumbs up ever.
Most thumbs, which is weird because it's got like thumbs up and then awful comment.
Also, most thumbs down.
There you go.
Well, it's a pretty good ratio. It's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah, more thumbs up than thumbs down.
Yes,
much more.
So
yeah. So look forward to that after the ending song. But if you're not interested in that,
oh man, there are some great ones here.
Here we go. So that's a wrap, Danny.
Okay. Well, closing out the show, we're going to go ahead and give out our Twitter handles like we normally do. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV. James, where can people follow you?
I'm at Family Complicated. Oh, no shit. It's just been deleted. Okay, wait 6 days and then it'll appear again.
Yes.
Just need to change my birthday back to what it actually is.
Yes. And Ty, where can people find you?
I'm Super Cat Drugs. You can hop on there and see the picture of me and my Gaijin friends doing the the Ginyu Force pose on the live stream.
The DBZ, yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Cool. And Cyrus, where can we find you?
You can find me at Celsi on Twitter, where I haven't really posted in a while because apparently getting citizenship in Ireland is hard.
Yeah, you act like you're busy or something. Jeez.
What, they actually revoked your citizenship? That's pretty harsh.
Yeah, I might as well have. I had to fill in a 24-page document with the moving back to Ireland people.
I think that's actually the name of the department.
Yeah, Saints and Scholars is not really that descriptive of Ireland.
Westeros.
Yes. All right. On that
the
note,
Ravens are still coming in.
On that note, the main part of this episode is over. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for everybody that's joined us live. If you're watching on YouTube, stick around for a little bit, and James is going to humor you. If not, see you next time. Check us out on YouTube. See ya.
Peace. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start at the bottom. And the first one is from Chronodyne. Good name. He says, is Dean Takahashi playing this? God. Remind me of that one again, Ty? Oh, okay. Game journalist. There you go.
Kill all game journalists.
What did he play badly? Somebody.
Cuphead. He couldn't get past the tutorial.
That makes sense. Next one is from Marco Kaifan87. He says, whoever played this sucked really bad. That's it. That's all he said. Thanks for that, Marco.
Yeah.
Next one is from Reefers Club. He says, there's no need for this guy to be a pro, but God, it would have been nice to put someone that has actually played a video game before. So,
man, surfers are mean.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Yo, I don't want to be that guy, but original player plays like a Cuphead tutorial journalist. God. That's from Brancliffe. Next one, Brent Thompson, straight to the point. Dude is garbage. So yeah, thanks for that, Brent. Appreciate it. Let me see. I can't read that one out.
That's from a private collection.
Okay, let me see. Shit.
Who's playing Stevie Wonder?
Is that your comment?
No, I wish it was.
I saw that one. That was a pretty good one. I wish it was.
There are actually some nice comments, and I'm skipping past those ones. Next one is from Guanxi Han. He says, "Come on, people, be nice. This was clearly played by a 4-year-old kid because it has to be." Thanks, Guanxi.
Man, I didn't watch this video, but I am definitely going back to watch it now. This sounds amazing.
Next one is from Greenman422. He says, "Is this an AI trying to learn how to play?" Yeah, thanks for that. Okay.
Don't worry, James. You could probably beat him up in real life.
Yeah, I've got the addresses of all these people. Don't worry about it. Next one is from Oroku Saki. He or she says, "Why do you get someone to play the game who's actually played Castlevania before?" God.
Well, do you know who Oroku Saki is?
No.
Are you serious? God, what a dork.
Wow.
It's Shredder. Duh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There you
And
go.
the reason why he's such an asshole is because he has a girl's name.
I like how you called me a dog for not knowing a very kind of in joke about an anime. Thanks for that.
That's the joke.
And
it's not an anime. Well, I'm talking. Okay. So,
I've seen the Turtles anime. It's
I know.
amazing.
Sorry. Okay. Never mind. Just keep going. Don't listen to me.
Okay. Man, these are such a nice game. Nice comments. Okay, next bad one is from Base Hunter 2007. Was painful to watch you. You need to get gaming skills. Such a terrible player. Gaming is not for you.
Gaming is not for you.
Were there no periods there?
No, that was one full sentence, non-stop. Next one is from Lord Karasaman. He says, looks like this guy was born yesterday. Mike Dobbs, similar thing. This gameplay is so bad. I think I don't know if this is ironic, but Emmanuel Contreras says, good gameplay. He's probably been ironic. Another Dean Takahashi rides again comment. Next one, I like this one. This is from Antonio Roldan. He says, ¿Quién el idiota il juega?
Oh, that
Si
sounds
se pone
nice.
que es un fan de Castlevania, su sabe juegos llevas de Castlevania. Juega como un idiota.
Another die.
So thanks for that, Antonio. I assume that
Yeah,
just
I don't
means you
speak
really like
Spanish, but it sounds great. Yeah.
it. Yeah. I don't speak Spanish, but yeah, thanks for that really nice comment. I assume.
I like how every time you try to press down and attack, you face the other way.
Yeah, was that the D-pad? I mean,
Yeah, I think
No, that was all
clearly
James.
was.
that was all James. He was doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I was doing it on purpose. It takes skills.
He was trying to do one of those charging turn punches that Captain Falcon has in Smash Bros. It's high level tech.
Sry Lestari says, "Let the pro play this. You're a noob."
Sorry, I wasn't there.
Oh, this guy's got a time code. For Electric Cobra says at 1:37 specifically, "What the fuck are you doing? This is like watching a blind person trying to play the game just based on what someone else is describing to them happening on the screen."
Yeah, that was the part I was talking about. Like,
I'm frankly amazed that so many people watch this video. Like, good job, the Famicast. We're in the big leagues now.
Yeah. Just need to get more gameplay of me sucking at something.
Yeah.
That will not be hard. We'll have content for months.
Stevie Wonder. Ty already read that one out.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. People are like defending my gameplay because they know that I'm using a pro controller. Game looks awesome. No offense, dude, but you need to really practice. From Daniel Fryman. And the one I read out, this is my favorite one that I read out last time. It says, this is from Rennick Zuhak. It says, "This game, it gives me strength. But this guy's gameplay, it gives me cancer."
That was a good one.
I think that's a winner. That or the Stevie Wonder one.
Yeah, those kudos on the great comments. I mean, if you're gonna insult somebody, some of the ones that are doing it really great like that, hey, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like anyone can say you're bad at video games. It takes skill to give a good bad insult.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for the comments, guys. If half of those guys actually start listening to the show, it would make it all worth it.
Yeah.
Right? Or they just watch that and then just like immediately close the page.
Yeah.
Never go back to it.
No, yeah, they can't.
Nerd.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And that's the end of the show.
All right. So thanks everybody for sticking around. See you later.
Peace.